Neil, how are you,
He ain't
sir?
playing no more.
Who's not playing anymore?
Who's not playing anymore?
Anybody. He ain't playing no more.
Oh, Nomar.
Oh, Nomar.
Going to
It's
party
Nomar.
to the car with Nomar.
A
Anyway.
little hungover after that great ratings party last night. Too bad you couldn't be there, Scott.
Yeah, I miss seeing you there. Hey, the Leafs lost again.
Where the hell were you? They suck. They always lose in Buffalo. They suck.
You didn't get back into town, did you?
They had a freaking power play for like the last 4 minutes of the game, and then they wound up giving up an empty net goal when it got 6-on-4. Nice going. You guys suck. By the way, your junior there, your protege, he picked the exact score of the Panther game yesterday. He said Florida 3, Ottawa 2. What a guy. See, it's rubbing off now.
Yeah, it's clear that your wisdom has rubbed off on it.
It's just my psychic powers.
Yeah, and he also told me that Steve Shields was going to be the starting goalie. He said he knew that, and I had interviewed Mike Keenan at 8 in the morning, so that was apparent to everyone.
Yeah.
Who cares about the goalie?
Restating the obvious. Well, that's what he does best.
I think you need a reggae hairdo.
How come Mo wasn't at the ratings party last night? Was he too embarrassed because he had the lowest numbers on the station?
No, he was wearing a hockey jersey this morning. At least I'll give him that.
He was wearing a hockey jersey?
That's the free jersey the Panthers gave him.
Oh, what a phony.
He wears that. He wears
that one game he went to. He sat right up front.
He wears that orange Dolphins jersey when he goes to the gay men's parade.
Well, you ought to see him when he has his Zubas pants on, man. That's the best. Oh, yeah. It's the thing. It's a sight for sore eyes, man.
Hey, Rumsfeld, your boy
Let's get a picture of Mo in his Zubas pants on our website.
Yeah, your boy Rumsfeld, I heard, has lost his mojo.
Nazi son of a bitch.
Hey, did you hear about a woman that robbed a bank? She dressed as a clown, and I think she dressed as Mo.
Yeah.
Actually, in those pants you were talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else is going on? They're saying there's corruption in Miami? Where?
No. I like the story about the Coke that was found in the snack bags, the peanut bags on the Avianca flight from Columbia to Miami.
I love when they do creative, like shoe heels, baby diapers.
And if you fly American Airlines, they still have like 2 hand grenades in each overhead.
Yeah,
heroin
balloons in the butt, and then you get Midway Airlines went under. They went under yesterday. What's next?
So what's the real story? Why you shined the party last night? Is it because you were like making a statement, or because 34C was demanding you stay home? What was the deal?
I didn't go to the party because I just know that Skippy drives drunk and I don't.
Yeah.
That's about what it boils down to.
Totally
like, I'm not interested in getting placed in jail for the night and waking up and reading about my headline.
In other words, you don't want to be the next Danny Heatley. Is that what you're
I'm not
trying to say?
interested in going to parties and getting bombed and driving on the freeway home.
Although, you know something?
Either my girlfriend drive.
You could have been the next Danny Heatley, and your passenger could have been Mo. You know what I'm saying?
I asked Mo if he'd drive me, and he didn't want to go to the party because he said he has no friends here. But the fact is,
he was busy watching the Panther game last night.
He was involved in some charity event. All I know is that
maybe he was hanging out with his best new friend David Sampson and Delilah.
Everywhere I go, I have 34C drives me home everywhere because I've been known to suck down a few, and I'm just not going to drive.
I've been known to suck a few.
Hey now.
Yeah.
What a
That's what the Beast said.
Anyway, I'm wearing...
Beast and Clarence, have we got that relationship all patched up now or what?
Everything's chocolatey there. I have a Russian Tusk Elite League jersey on today, the sweater. You should see me,
The good news is we got a new picture of Scran in honor of her new book that just came out Wednesday, one in the pink and one in the stink.
And she sits
we got a new picture of Scran that's soon to be on our website.
Do you know she hides in her car smoking cigarettes?
She don't look a day over 80.
See, but she thinks that people can't smell her.
What a well-worn old bitch, man, I'll tell you.
I met her husband.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes you.
Don't you find it a little bit strange that our sales manager, which is her, is married to the sales manager of her Cheap Channel?
I think that has no bearing. What is the real story is how does she let other saleswomen live with her at home and her husband? Hey now.
And where does
Roy
fit into the picture?
Well, I took over the situation for Roy. I run that bar, and I don't know anything about the fellow Roy that had the big package.
Yeah, you do. Roy Foster. He used to be a dolphin, man.
Roy! I don't know who he is.
Any ex-jock. She'll sniff it, she'll grab it, she'll squeeze it.
You think she's doing Troy Stratford right now?
No.
Oh.
I think the two of them got something going on, is what I think.
Now, he don't smell bad enough for her. She likes that raunchy odor, that aroma.
I think,
she likes
I think
she used
Mo
to like
wants
Roy
to do-
Foster's bleeding, oozing hemorrhoids.
Oh, God, is there anything worse
I'm
than
serious, I'm not making
is there
that up.
anything
Am I
worse
right,
than
George?
Is there anything
Roy
worse
Foster
than a
had
turtle?
bleeding, oozing hemorrhoids.
Nothing like a turtle out of the shell.
Which tells us a lot about where he used to use that big instrument he kept stealing from us.
Splotting while he was...
That big black one.
My dad's coming in tomorrow, Neil, for 2 weeks of painful visitations.
Yeah? You going to have him on your show again, replacing the Beast?
Yeah, I'm going to have him in at least 2 days next week for fun. He's smarter than all of us. Have a nice weekend, Neil.
See you, Scott. Bye.
Friday, you bastard.
We did it! We did it!
Dr. Phil, the ultimate weight solution, is #1 in the New York Times, the best-selling book in America.
And there's not one thing in that book that is grounded in the scientific
So
literature.
this is Dr. Phil off the top of his head, knee-jerk advice.
Exactly.
Let's go to your calls. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Hello.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, what's the question?
Dr. Phil, I just started a new diet my doctor gave me. Any words of wisdom?
You are going to fail. You're not going to get back to that weight.
Tampa, Florida. Hello.
Hey guys, hold on 1 second. I'm opening up a box of Twinkies.
Twinkies.
Whatever.
The first step. What's the question?
Hey, I said hold on a second. I'm eating a Twinkie.
Great.
What's the question?
Do you know how late the Dairy Queen is open?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Binge for revenge.
One more call. Winslow, Maine. Hello.
Dr. Phil, both my parents work, so I have to fix a lot of my own meals. What should I have for breakfast?
Ice cream, cookie.
Are you sure?
No question about it.
My teacher said I should have fruit or cereal or something.
Bad idea.
Boy.
That's not healthy. That's not good.
We'll be back with more Dr. Phil, the ultimate weight solution.
Yeah.
It's #1 on the New York Times list.
Of course.
More calls after this.
That is one of my favorites. Binge for revenge. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way he says that. You know, that drooling southern sound of his, that drawl. Makes me sick to my stomach. 10:07 at 560 WQM. Happy Friday to you. Cocaine found in snack peanut bags on Avianca flight to Miami. Federal investigators yesterday found about 20 grand worth of cocaine disguised as snack-sized bags of peanuts on an Avianca flight from Colombia to Miami. No passengers on the plane ate any of the 51 bags of peanuts that held a total of 2.6 pounds of the drugs, said Zach Mann, a spokesman for the Bureau of Customs and Border Protection. Avianca flight Dos from Barranquilla, Colombia, landed at Miami International around 12:45 p.m. He said a drug-sniffing dog or a dog-sniffing drug doing a routine search of the plane alerted agents to the presence of drugs in the galley, man said. Investigators noted the peanut bags didn't feel right. So they opened them up and found the blow. Our concern is that people who eat them just rip the bags open and pop them in their puss, man said. For all practical matters, it would have killed them. You ready for that? What a way to go. With a little blow. No one has been arrested. Officials were trying to determine who loaded the peanuts on the plane and where they came from, man said. Avianca officials in Miami didn't return a phone message seeking comment, says the Scum Sentinel. In 1990, a man died after drinking liquid cocaine disguised as a Latin American soft drink. The drink had been smuggled into Miami in wholesale-sized cases from Colombia, and the smugglers inadvertently let some get into the retail market. What a damn shame, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go, another, I don't want to be negative, and I'm going to give you a chance to rip me an ass today on the poll. Don't you like my poll? It's the kind of thing that they really sink their teeth into. We'll get to it momentarily. I also don't want to be negative about that great new stadium we're going to have right there in Miami, right by the OB, right side by each. But there's an article in the Herald today that says, north of Dade fans say drive to Miami Stadium would be too far. For many who live north of PP Park, attending games at a new ballpark in Miami would be too much trouble. In other words, they don't want to go through that 8-hour drive. They don't want to go through all that crap on I-95.
They don't.
It's not located well. Most people don't want to go to Dade County who don't live in Dade County, and even most of the ones who live there wish the hell they could get out. I mean, they're just never going to get the message until it's too late. So I say go for it. Build it. Another white elephant can't hurt. You already got a whole bunch. You got that Metro Rail. You got the Miami Arena. You got that Mickey Aracenieta Center over there downtown that nobody wants to go to, and even the ones who do have no interest in what's going on the court. For all of its flaws as a baseball field, it says, Pro Player Stadium sits smack at the center of the Florida Marlins fan base. No Schmidt. Wow. I've been trying to explain that to these people for so long, and then you'll get these calls you hear on the sports shows. Well, you know, that stadium, we don't want to build it there. It's such a bad location. What? I mean, forget it. And for many who live north of that address, meaning PP Park, the prospect of a new ballpark in central Miami don't sit well. I won't go to a new stadium in downtown Miami, says Jeff DeSoleil of Pembroke Pines, a passionate fan who said he goes to 35 games a year. He says he'll watch it on TV. And then it goes on with the stats about the fan base and about 40 and 12 and on the Marlins. But then season tickets say 45% were sold in Broward, 37% in Dade, and 13% in Palm Beach County as of 2000. And team officials said the current figures are roughly the same. Oh, there's that fire alarm thing. That's good during the show.
Say, boy, is
they're
that us?
testing
Is
the
that
fire
me?
thing.
Is that my pacemaker?
Wait a minute. May I have your attention, please? The building's burning down. Yes?
Did they say it in French, too?
He said, we're going to test the fire alarm system, and we hope that we crank it up real loud so we screw up that damn fat bastard fag who's trying to do his radio show. This is even better than yesterday when those people came into my the apartment.
Home invasion. I'd sue.
A little home invasion right during the middle of the show. Okay, yesterday's pool. Shut up, pal. You're too freaking loud, you idiot. Do you hear what he said? We're about to conduct. That should be the tip-off right there. We're about to conduct, you silly Canuck. Conduct this. Just put the damn thing on, let it scream and wail and get all carried away. We'll give you the result from yesterday's poll, which I thought was pretty good, although anything that has to do with music, this audience, they don't like it. Generally speaking, because I'm an old fart, you're almost an old fart, and although, you know, you're a little more into the music that they know what the hell it is, but even so, they don't like our taste in music. Now you're going to say, oh, you're wrong about that, they like my taste in me. You got about 6 assholes there, including that Teddy guy. That Teddy Botswana or whatever his name is.
Whatever you say, Gramps.
No matter what you do. Oh, man, George, that was the neatest fart I ever smelled in my life. Can I stick my nose in there again real deep? You know, that kind of stuff. We all have those. And then we have our detractors, like the one yesterday who decided he was going to vote for you on the poll. He doesn't like your song.
My song?
Well, that was what the poll was. Anyway, the poll was, what song is so annoying you never want to hear it again? Macarena wins, hands down, and I'll give you the rest of the results, but we got to do the break. We got to do the break because those nice long crossovers from Scott managed to kill most of the first segment, which I absolutely love, you know. As long as that stupid little bastard Robert Grieper opens up my pot at 10 o'clock, he's not allowed to smoke it, but he can open it up. And, and 10 o'clock, that's when the show starts. And Pharrell could sit there, until 12:30 as far as I'm concerned. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
In fact, I wouldn't even mind if he just did all the talking. Hey, when you see mattress stores advertising a 50% off sale, is it a trick or a treat? Happy Halloween, by the way. Have they inflated the regular price to give a false impression of savings? Do they just have one piece to sell at the sale price, and then, once that piece is gone, they try to get you to buy a full price set and rip your ass off? The mattress industry is loaded with phony claims and shell games like these. That's why you ought to be calling the folks I do business with. Dial a mattress, 1-800-mattress. No phony promises, no bait and swish, just discount prices every day of your life on the brand names you know and trust, now including Stearns & Bananas Foster. Honest sales practices and fantastic, unbeatable service keep Dial a Mattress ranked numero uno in customer satisfaction. When you call 1-800-mattress, you pick the day and time for delivery, like, for example, Tuesday from noon to 2, any 2-hour window 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., Wednesday 1:30 to 3:30, Thursday 2:47 until 4:47. Dial a Mattress is the way to go. I've been sleeping on a mattress from Dial a Mattress for years, and you ought to be doing it too for you and your back. With low prices, same-day delivery, free setup and removal, it's easy to see why Dial a Mattress is ranked the best in the world in customer satisfaction. So please do yourself a big favor. Be smart for once in your life. Don't get fooled. Don't get sucked in by those phony mattress showrooms or furniture store ads. They're not in the same league with Dial a Mattress. Call them right now. They'll be knocking on your door whenever you want, and you'll be sleeping like a baby with a real smile on your puss. Call 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES, or online. Check them out at mattress.com.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
No. I want to bang you in the butt, honey.
Chicha tu madre pendejo. Chicha tu madre maricón. Chicha tu madre pendejo. Chicha tu madre maricón. Chicha tu madre maricón. Chicha tu madre pendejo. Puto, 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 puto.
Increíble.
Puto, 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 puto. Puto, 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 puto.
Oh my God.
Puto, 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 puto.
All right.
Chicha tu madre maricón.
Rectum.
Chicha tu madre pendejo. En bocas. Mierda. Bueno la naga. Bueno penocho. Quiero notar. Chicha tu madre maricón.
You know, I just had a great inspiration.
That.
You know, the sniper trial, of course, that they're all whipped up to a frenzy about now. John Muhammad and Lee, what's his name,
Malvo. Johnny Lee.
I think what they ought to do, whatever his name is, John Lee Malvo, I think what they ought to do is, like, take them and, like, put the orange jumpsuits on and put them in chains and, like, stand them out in front of the courthouse. And let all of the victims who are still alive and their families, let them drive around, and the family, some family member could drive them, and the victims could be in the trunk of the car with a rifle. You see what I'm saying?
No, right.
And do you think that's a great idea?
No, I think...
I mean, you know what they say about an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth?
Right. But you don't have to go through all that. Just stand them out in front of the courthouse. The rest will take care of itself.
No, I don't want the rest to take care of itself. I want to make sure that the right people do it and in the right way, too, so that they see... And, of course, there'll be, like, decoy cars. There'll be cars where the trunk is just ajar, just enough so it appears that they're... And actually we'll have, like, stunt rifles poking out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Poking out of the end of where the trunk is, where that just that little opening is, just to keep them off balance, so that when the real one comes out, oh, gee, I didn't think it was that one. Look out! Oh, it is that one. Stuff like that. I don't want to start getting carried away, but I think just kill them both right on the CBS Evening News. Get some numbers back for Dan, even though he's an asshole. He is an American, though. Let's hear it. Unlike, of course, Peter Jennings, which we know he ain't American, eh? And Tom Brokaw, we'd know where he was from if you could understand what the hell he was saying. What song is so annoying you never want to hear it again? That was yesterday's poll question. 1,155 vote. The Macarena, Los Del Rio, they don't want to ever hear that piece of crap again. It's been just jammed down your throats until it's coming out of your pores of your body.
Rectum.
The Macarena, 207. The Dolphins' #1 song, amazingly. How do you like that, huh? 86 for a strong second place.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen.
Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men, 79 votes. Don't Worry, Be Happy, Bobby McFerrin, 62. God Bless America, just generic, not by Kate Smith necessarily or anybody else, just that song, 57. Especially since a lot of people are using it to exploit people's emotions and exploit the 3,000 people who died on 9/11. My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion had 50. Feelings by Morse Albert, 38. Cracking the top 10. I Will Always Love You by the Unctuous, Beaten Off, and Whitney Houston, 32.
Beaten off?
Yeah, beaten off. You know what they used to say about Whitney when she first became a big star? They used to say, can't beat Whitney, and Bobby Brown used to say, want to bet? God Bless the USA. Lean Greenwood's got...
About 30, man.
And You Light Up My Life, Debbie Boone, tied with that one with...
About 30, man.
Sweet Home Alabama, Leonard Skinner, which I find is to be sacrilegious, and a bunch of rednecks are going to come and beat the crap out of you for this.
Again?
29 for Sweet Home Alabama. I like that song. I don't care what you say.
I liked it.
Achy Breaky Heart, Billy Ray Cyrus, and we again apologize for much of the spelling on here, which is what makes it fun. 27 tied with Rock and Roll Part 2, Gary Glitter, which only had 27, should have been much, much stronger than that. Much, much bigger than that. Conga, Gloria Estefan, tied with the Village People and YMCA, 23 apiece. It's a Small World After All was tied with Funky Town by Lip Sync, 22 apiece. Loving You, Minnie Riperton, 21. Mambo #5, Lou Bega, tied with Feliz Navidad, Jose Feliciano, 20 apiece. We Are the World, USA for Africa, 17. Now, who were the people on that video? There was Michael Jackass.
Everybody.
Huh? Now, wait a minute. Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder was on there, right?
Yeah. All the Americans.
What's his name from the Miracle? Smokey Robinson was in there, right?
Right. I tried to put it out of my head.
James, that other Schwarzer, what the hell's his name? He's very good too, by the way. James,
Earl Jones.
Oh, James Earl Jones.
James O'Ray.
James Gandolfini. Jingle Bells, The Barking Dog, 16. Don Cashon, Wayne Newton, 15. Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jacks, tied with Proud Mary and CCR with 13 apiece. Livin' La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin and Crimey River, Justin Tinkerbell, 12 apiece. Ebony and Ivory, Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder, 11 apiece. 11 with Barbie Girl, also by Aqua 11. Wind Beneath My Wings, 10 votes. Bette Midler, also 10 for Ty Yellow Ribbon, Tony Orlando, and Don we got, not Dawn, Tony Orlando and Don. In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins has got 10. 9 votes for I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred, and also Freebird Leonard Skinner. 8 votes for Muskrat Love by Captain and Schlemiel, and 8 for I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor. That was playing on my speaker yesterday, when they were testing out the speaker thing.
To see
Gloria
if you will
Gaynor,
survive.
I'm telling you. Celebration by Kool and the Gang was tied with Sandstorm by Darude and Copacabana, and with 6, and also Short People, Randy Newman had 6. Lady in Red, Chris DeBerg, tied with We Are the Champions by Queen, 5 votes apiece. Unforgettable, Natalie Cole, I Honestly Love You, Olivia Newton-John, and Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr. They each had 4. We've only just begun, and MacArthur Park, Richard Harris, 3 apiece. Escape, the Pinga Colada song, Rupert Holmes had 3. I love the way Eric actually put that on here. The Pinga Colada song. You pervert. Brand new key melody, Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel, Money for Nothing, Dire Straits, and Kansas, Dustin and Wynn, 2 apiece. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Kansas, and I love Dustin and Wynn. Whoever, the 2 people voted for that.
Right.
Your taste
I like
blows.
it too. I like Kansas
Taste
a lot,
this.
even though they're Christians.
Vogue by Madonna and Build Me Up Buttercup and Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks had 1 apiece. And no votes. This is maybe one of the big scandals. Even the Bush administration can't top this. Out of almost 1,200 votes, 0. Let me make sure. Let me look again at the bottom of the list here.
Yeah, let's reload. I don't want to accept that.
Huh? No votes for Chris Cross and Sailing. Still 0 out of 1169. Nearly 1,200 votes. And we couldn't muster up 1 for poor Chris Cross. That's amazing. Because that is a very annoying song.
Pukey.
Ooh, in fact, everything Chris Cross does is extraordinarily pukey.
Amen.
And people who like him probably listen to The Coast, you know?
Probably.
They like that syrup. They like Michael Bolton and Barry Manilow and Chris Cross and that real ineffectual, wimpy, limp-wristed piece of crap that even an old fag like me can't handle, kind of so-called music. It's slush, it's syrup, it's crap. It makes you want to barf. Makes you want to retch. So anyway, here's today's poll. Because obviously I make a lot of people want to retch, and so do you, George, but you've had plenty of chances. Let's give them a chance to rip me an ass today. I like it. I enjoy it. What's your biggest beef with Neil? That's our poll question today. And I've got, 3, 6, 9. Count them. I got a whole bunch of choices. 9 choices. 7, 8. He's too liberal. He's too effing negative. He hangs up on too many callers. He's too much of a fag. He rips Mo too much, right?
Absolutely.
Too much sports talk, not enough sports talk. He's out of Miami too much, and I have no real beef with Neil. Did I word that right? He's out of Miami too much? Should that be he's away from?
I understand. Out of town. I don't know. Whatever.
No, that's okay. They understand what that means. If they can't figure that out, then they're not qualified to vote on the poll. No, you know what I mean. If somebody has to explain to you the poll question, then just lay out. Then you're not qualified to vote on there. What's your biggest beef with fat old Neil? He's too liberal. He's too effing negative. He hangs up on too many calls. Now, the second one there, of course, is going to get a lot of votes, especially from the Marlin contingent. You think John Henry had his stoolies that used to get in on this stuff and do the crank calls. This outfit's got the same thing. It's probably the same people. He hangs up on too many callers. He's too much of a fag. He rips Mo too much sports talk, not enough sports talk. He's out of Miami too much, and I have no real beef with Neil. We'll see if there's anybody who says that. Just to suck up a little.
Well, I'm going to say that my choice isn't on here.
Because it's almost my birthday. Well, what's your choice?
Not enough bedtime stories. I know, that's not very good, is it?
No, okay, well, we can add 2 more. Too much reading and not enough reading.
All right.
Huh?
Okay.
How's that?
Excellent.
So now we got 11 choices on there. Too much reading and not enough reading, meaning the bedtime. And you could even put bedtime stories in parentheses, so they understand. Because they don't know what reading means. 27 past 10. And by the way, speaking of reading, don't go out and buy that South Beach Dive book. Please, I'm going to tell you that again every day until I forget about it. Don't waste your money. It's just a cheap rip-off of the Atkins with a bunch of recipes and a bunch of interviews with insipid people and a bunch of puff piece promos for his favorite restaurants on South Beach by Dr. Agatston. Man, oh man, I'm pissed off at you, Dr. Agatston. You're just faking the public and you're making a lot of money doing it. You jackass. I don't like people that exploit fat people because I'm one of us. Speaking of great restaurants, and you will not find them in the book, one of the best-kept dining secrets is located in Coral Springs, the Gold Coast Seafood Grill. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary, and they got 3.5 big, fat, juicy stars from the Sun Sentinel Showtime Dining Review. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill has all kinds of amazing, mouth-watering specialties. When you just hear the name of them, you understand just how great they are. Mango plum salmon, almond-crusted mahi-mahi, orange honey glazed sea bass, and crab and shrimp-stuffed trout. There's an amazing bar atmosphere inside the joint with an extensive wine and martini list, too. Big martinis at happy hour, only $5.50 from 4 to 7 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill, you'll find it in Coral Springs at 2752 North University Drive inside the beautiful Walk Shopping Center. For reservations, call 954-255-FISH. For reservations and information. You can dine inside or outside. Large parties, private functions are welcome too. Experience the best-kept secret and lunch and dinner dining, the Gold Coast Seafood Grill in Coral Springs at 2752 North University Drive, including the inside the Walk Shopping Center. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill, where you'll find great seafood and great prices too.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
God!
Alan Box was a normal man with a wife, children, a summer home in Opelika, and a chain of radio stations. Well, normal that is until just 3 weeks ago.
Hi, honey. How was your day?
Unbelievable. Terminal. There's nothing but subhuman douchebags out there.
Alan Box is suffering from Neil Rogers disease.
Have you canceled the Miami Herald yet?
But, honey, we don't subscribe to the Herald.
Oh, now that's a cop-out. What kind of a lame excuse is that? Just say no to El Herald, sir.
Huh?
People afflicted with Neil Rogers disease have lost the ability to communicate like normal human beings.
What's the matter with you?
Blue-haired old bags from Pembroke Pines. You know, the yentas who say, "Oh, Neil, how can you say those nasty things?" Running around stealing sweet and low.
Can I get you anything?
How about those bag boys at Winn-Dixie? You know, it doesn't hurt to look. Incredible.
Neil Rogers disease, a growing South Florida epidemic. Please help us find a cure.
Honey, it's Friday night. You know what that means.
Hey, you know what I got? A 9. A 9! What's Lee Fowler got? 3 point something?
Send your tax-deductible contributions today in care of Hot 105.
Terminal. Unbelievable.
No, actually, Lee Fowler sleeps with the Fishers. 37 votes already, and it just went up there only moments ago. What's your biggest beef with Neil? I have no real beef with Neil. 19, that's what I voted, because I agree with everything I say. He's too liberal, 4. He's out of Miami too much, 4. Out of town too much. See, the interesting part of that is that they really don't know if I'm out of town or if I'm in town.
No, they really don't.
If I'm out of town today, then how did I attend the staff ratings party last night?
And drive my drunk ass home.
Right. He rips Mo too much, 3. Not enough reading, 2. Too much sports talk, 2. Too much reading, 1. He's too much of a fag, 1. Probably too much gay banter is what they mean. He's too effing negative, 1. Not enough sports talk, 0. And he hangs up on too many callers, 0. Well, maybe we can rectify that today.
All right.
Let's give it a shot. Here's our first call from Tamarack. Hello.
Hello, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Happy Halloweeny.
And back to you.
You missed one song yesterday. I tried to get on. I've been still holding on since yesterday, but that's okay.
What is
Butterfly Kisses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We suck.
Good one. Oh, bad one.
That's a good choice.
I hate you, Daddy.
And anyway, my vote on the poll would be I really have no beef with you, my friend.
Well, thanks for the suck job, Pally. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See, there you go, right? See, and you were ready for me to hang up on somebody, and this guy's licking away. In fact, my tushy feels like nice and moist now.
All right, can we stop the phone calls right there?
He got a little piece of both cheeks there. Nice job, Pally. Thank you. Well, I'm kind of surprised at that because, you know, there are a lot of malcontents. I don't have to tell you because, boy, oh, boy, when we give them a chance to rip you, it's like a field day, man. It's like a fiesta. They wake up from their siesta, it turns into a fiesta. We hate George. I mean, I don't know why that is because I've been on for a million years.
About 30, man.
But you seem to be more polarizing than I am. I don't know how that's possible.
I'm not you.
Because but it's either they love you, which is about 10 of them, or they really despise, bitterly hate.
They hate anyone who ever sat in for you. You know.
No, I don't think that's it. No, they don't hate Suds. Well, he never sat in. Who else ever sat in for me?
Randy.
Defoe. Yeah.
They would get shredded.
Defoe sat in for me?
Yeah.
When the hell was that?
Both times it was supposed to last a week and they never got past the second day, either one of them, because the outpouring, the backlash.
Defoe? When was that?
Back at IOD.
You're crazy.
We did 2 shows together. I board opt. I produced them.
Defoe sat in on this show?
I'm telling you.
What the hell did he talk about? He did a sports show?
You know.
Nah.
Not as
that's
such.
Defoe. Like that. By the way, I hear a rumor that 850 is going all Portuguese sports is what I'm hearing. Look out. Here's a call from Milwaukee. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, one song that we truly missed is Paradise by the Dashboard Lights by Meatloaf. Oh, do I hate that song.
Haven't heard that in a coon's age.
I used to work in a bar. It was a college bar, and they played it every night, and I wanted to take a baseball bat to some of those little girls. And
I
I'm
bet
not a
you
violent
did.
man.
Wanted to pound them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, enjoy some bratwurst for us, Pally.
Absolutely, brother.
And wash it down with some Old Milwaukee.
Old Milwaukee Light.
See ya.
Love you.
Milwaukee is an interesting place. A lot of Nazis there. I've never been there. That's, of course, not a good place for me to be. I mean, as long as the Nazis have taken over the whole government and the state of California, which, by the way, 80% of California is burned to the ground.
Yeah.
A friend of mine made a good point, though, and that is that from an ecological standpoint, the forest fires are good because there are a lot of insects that need the fire to exist.
Right.
Is that right?
It's part of the ecosystem.
I'll be damned. So you see, out of even the most negative, nasty, hostile, horrendous thing, when all these people are losing their homes and the tears are rolling down their cheeks and they're screaming and wailing and all of their possessions, their whole life is going up in smoke, we can find some little good thing there for the bugs, you know? Isn't that great?
You know, 90% of all forest fires occur naturally.
You do understand how one of the major fires started, don't you? You didn't hear? This is true.
What's that?
There were two guys out there camping or whatever the hell they were doing in the woods, or maybe doing each other in the woods.
The flare guy.
And they lost contact with each other, and so in order to signal his friend, you know, like the Indians with the smoke signals, he started like a little fire, figuring, you know, his friend, wherever the hell he is, he'd see the smoke get up there, and well, unfortunately, probably when it's like dry as a bone in the forest, there's not really a good time to start a fire. That guy ought to be like drawn and quartered. In fact, we ought to put him on there with John Lee Malvo and Shmagegi Mohammed or whatever his name is. 83 vote. No, I'm serious. I'm sick and tired of all this crap about, well, you know, I realize that everybody's entitled to a trial, but let's get it over with in about a half an hour and then fry both their ass. I'm tired of it. Couple of damn low-count assholes driving around. And the one good thing about this is that nobody's made it into a racial thing yet. Thank goodness for that. I mean, how the hell could it be? Driving around in a goddamn beat-up old jalopy, sticking a goddamn shotgun or whatever the hell it was out of the back of the trunk, and just picking people off for fun and profit. And then like, oh, well, put $5 million in an account at the ATM. Man. I'm telling you this right now, and I really mean it. No more, I mean, the gun thing you're never going to solve, but no more Schwarzers with guns, okay? That's got to stop. Do you follow what I'm saying? I think that black people ought to have all the same rights as white people, except that. There we draw the line.
That's right out of Bowling for Columbine.
I mean, look at the rappers. All these, just rapping, just over like Puff Dog there on Passions, Scott. Man. And if he would stop holding that thing sideways. Oh, so you want to know what's on Passions today? No, I don't like that whole crap.
No.
Yes, you do.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Julian has the flight attendant there, the flying mattress guy, hook a whole bunch of spare seatbelts together so we can try to get up on the top of the plane where Eve is hanging onto the antenna. She flew out, but she grabbed somehow hold of the antenna. Boy, she just doesn't want to die. And here Julian is reaching up there, and he's like, and of course one of the seatbelts is now just about on the verge of tearing apart. So they're hanging by a thread.
Oh my.
And then Luis, who just made a miraculous recovery from falling all that blood pouring out of his head, Luis has got Charlie cornered. And for a moment, and of course Edna's going, ha ha ha, Betty, oh yeah. She isn't the greatest character in the history of television.
She sure is.
Old Mrs. Wallace, Edna Wallace. I wonder if she's kin to Kevin Wallace. But anyway, she's the best.
Or
her and Precious. And then Beth passes out from seeing this whole thing on TV, and Mrs. Wallace says, "Hey, Precious, making only popcorn for two." As the orangutan goes to make some more popcorn while they're watching all this unfold on TV. It says you have to be there, you know. George is missing out. And I'll tell you, Sheridan, considering all this stuff, considering she was underwater for several days, she looks pretty damn good again, doesn't she?
She sure does.
In her hospital bed. Oh, and then, of course, Teresa's been beating on Gwen there with that bedpan.
Fun and hijinks.
And Puff Dog and his two goons there, man, they got the three guys like cornered inside again. And Chad says, well, I'm breaking out of here. Yeah, that's what you think. Light-complected black boy, that's what you think. It's a beautiful thing. 20 before 11 at 560 WQM. If you want a really neat meal, here's a place to really enjoy it. Low price, really fresh, delicious food. Vic and Herbs, originating in my hometown of Rochester, New York, way back in 1934, 69 years ago. Isn't that just a coincidence? 69 years ago. Vic and Herbs is on Federal Highway, just south of Broward Boulevard in the tunnel on the east side. And trust me when I tell you, or not, just go there and try it for yourself. Forget about me. Vic and Herbs is a real flashback in time to what good restaurants used to be before this prefabricated fast food junk. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. No rubber tire-like meat at Vic and Herbs. You'll love their meat. Enjoy a hamburger or hot dog served hot, fresh, and fast. And the good part about their meat is that Vic and Herbs is being brought to you by the same folks who feed you Cheeseburger, and they use the same fresh 100-ground chuck meat at Vic and Herbs as they do at Cheeseburger. There's an incredible big fat quarter-pound hot dog, one of the biggest, juiciest pieces of meat you'll ever suck on in your life. And what makes Vic and Herbs different from anybody else is that signature meat sauce that they pour on their burgers and dogs, which you've never tasted nothing like it in your life. And you'll find a whole menu full of all kinds of goodies, including a great breakfast menu at Vic and Herbs. They got your omelets cooked to order, French toast, pancakes, all your favorite side dishes too. Don't forget, you don't have to be from Rochester. You don't have to be from anywhere in upstate New York. And by the way, the Sabres make me sick. See what all the talk is all about. Vic and Herbs on Federal Highway just south of Broward Boulevard on the tunnel on the east side. Be sure and tell them that old Neil sent you by.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Usually I don't do this, but here I go ahead now and break off with a little preview of Arnold.
No more of the Terminator dude. I'm dressed up in silk suits. California's problems, what to do? At the moment, I don't have a clue. As you probably can tell, this new job, it could be hell. Still hear that bunch of women yell that I grew up them pretty well. Greg got the boot in the next few weeks. Stopping my big list of chores. Audits will be in store. Money's what I'm looking for. It's a big move to transition. This governor's on a mission that I help California. That's the big dream that I'm wishing. There's no time to relax. Time instead to make tracks. Got this freaking feeling, baby. I'm about to raise up your tax.
You know, those stinking rejoins that we got on the station, especially since they made Little Sports Nerd, I'm a Silly Person, Clarence, the program director, they just keep getting longer and longer. See, a rejoin isn't a 30-second segment of play-by-play from some ball game. That's not a rejoin. Again. No, it's not a rejoin. And if Muff had any balls, which of course we know he don't, he'd go into Clarence right now and pound him into the ground. Or at least pound him. I mean, what kind of crap is that? You know, this is going to stop. When I get back there, you just wait and see.
All right, I'll bring a camera.
You wait and see. I'm going to go into Clarence and I'm going to take a big smelly dump right there on his little papier-mâché desk. That's right. These long, excruciating, especially the Zagacki ones, and then the Dave Van Boring ones from the Marlins from their championship success, and the best we can come up with is play Dave Van Boring. We should pretend that he never did one pitch. Now forget about one inning. He never called one pitch on our station, Dave Van Boring. That's how bad the embarrassment level is if we had any, but we don't, obviously. God. 124 votes. What's your biggest beef with big old fat Neil? I have no real beef with Neil. 62 and exact 50%. How do you like that? 62 out of 124. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure that out, right? 50. But you know what that means? 50% got a beef.
Where's the beef?
He's too liberal, 12. Not enough reading, 10. Well, that's not really a beef. That means they want more bedtime story.
That's right.
He's out of Miami too much, 10. And of course he sounds too happy when he's not here.
Oh, yeah. They hate that.
He's too effing negative, 8. He rips Mo too much, 7.
Absolutely.
Sure. He's too much of a fag, 5. We don't like that faggery, that awful gay banter. Too much sports talk, 4. Too much reading, 3. Not enough sports talk, 2. And he hangs up on too many callers, 1. Only 1. Like I said, we'll work on that. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
My beef against you is you get too many blowjobs and don't swallow it.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good, Pally, but you're just jealous.
That's not what I heard.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. That's that same grizzled old fart, the one that always calls about Steve Kane said this and said you have AIDS and all this other. Pal, it's really great knowing that you're still there, just barely hanging on to life by a thread. But it's great knowing that you're still you got your miracle ear right up to the radio. That's for you and no extra charge. How do you? Well, I know he's got it real close, he's got it right up next to the speaker.
One of those horns?
Here's a call from Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Pretty good.
Billy, don't be a hero.
Billy, don't be a hero. We're still doing
I
that.
thought I was going to die. My first job, they played it 6 times a night.
Now, who sang that?
I'm telling you, 20 years later, I still, it makes me shudder.
Let me say it again. Who sang that song?
I don't know who sang it, but it came into my head yesterday. I'm thinking, I wonder if either you or George know who it was.
Oh, yeah, I know the song. I'll look it up in the book. I don't know who sang it, but I'll look it up.
It'll come
I know the song very well, and you are right. It's very annoying.
Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods.
Who?
Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods.
Billy, don't be a hero. Yeah, I just looked it up right here, and you're right.
Speaking about heroes, Neil, we had a guy shoot a kid down the street in the next development from me up here in Boca last week. This guy thinks he's Rambo or something,
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's not funny. I have a 5-year-old little boy, and the neighbor's kid's 5, and one of the other neighbors came out and said, just very nice, because they're really nice kids, and he said, your kid pressed my doorbell the other day and ran away. And I said, and now this was about 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden this other kid, he's 16, and he should know a little better, but you know what? The kid's running away from the house, and this other Jay Levine guy...
That makes him a real threat when he's running away from the house.
Blast the kid while he's running, I mean, you're supposed to be able to protect your home when the guy's breaking into the home, or you catch him downstairs in your home.
I say we string him right up there with John Lee Malvo and John Muhammad.
Well, you know what the thing is, too many people watch too many movies and think, you shoot someone. He ruined the people, he killed the kid. He's ruined his own life. The only fight the guy's ever been in his life, was with probably a bagel trying to cut it open or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just
That's
terrible.
the American fucking way.
Yeah.
No, it really is the American way. I had an old man the other day in the plaza, right next to Del Mar, okay? Pull out, he's 60 years old, and I'm coming down the lane in the parking lot, and he pulls out and starts yelling at me that nobody else would let him out, and I said, my problem that nobody else would let you out, so you cut. He's 60 years old, I'm 40, I'm 6 feet, 235, and I'm looking at the guy like, you've lost your freaking mind.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the guy going, buddy, if I get out of the truck, you're really going to be in some serious... And he's yelling at me. I'm like, who do these people think they are,
Don't take any crap, man. Get them. Nail them. You like those sounds of that? See, they usually don't do this during the show, and I requested that they do one of these fire alarm tests during the show because it adds a certain something to the ambiance. How loud can you hear that?
Pretty clear.
Good. That's good. That's a little more the ambiance. Yesterday I had not intruders, but people from maintenance inside the apartment during the show, which kind of took me aback. And today we got the damn fire alarm test during the show, which I would say unacceptable. Oh, and speaking of doing a little more reading, this is worth reading. What you were telling me about, people sent it to us, and I confused it with another story from AP. It's on our website. Companies awarded $8 billion in contracts to rebuild Iraq and Afghanistan have been major campaign donors to President Bush, and their executives have had important political and military connections, according to a study released yesterday. How do you like that, huh?
Sounds like a dirty liberal lie.
Must be just another coincidence, don't you think? And I'll tell you, speaking of cover-ups, man, that Rush thing, it's just like it died. Like you don't hear another word about that. The study of more than 70 U.S. companies and individual contractors turned up more than $500,000 in donations to the president's 2000 campaign, more than they gave collectively to any other politician over the past dozen years. The report was released by the Center for Pubic Integrity, a Washington-based research organization that produces investigative articles on special interest and ethics in government. Its staff includes journalists and researchers. The center concluded that most of the 10 largest contracts went to companies that employed former high-ranking government officials or executives with close ties to members of Congress and even the agencies awarding their contracts. Major contracts for Iraq and Afghanistan were awarded by the Bush administration without competitive bids because agencies said competition would have taken too much time to meet urgent needs in both countries. Right. No single agency supervised the contracting process for the government, Center Executive Director Charles Lewis said. This situation alone shows how susceptible the contracting system is to waste, fraud, and cronyism.
Absolutely correct, sir.
So there's a little reading for you. The entire story is on our website on NeilRogers.com, along with a lot of other really good stuff. And by the way, speaking of guns, how much money do you think they wasted yesterday with that big investigation over the early Halloween celebrators with their toy gun?
$150,000. I don't know.
Is that how much it was?
I don't know. I'm just pulling it out of my ass.
I guarantee you more than that. More than that. And they had everybody had to evacuate the building. I guarantee you one thing. There was a lot of evacuating going on. Some of them people looked ashen. Oh, there's some two crazy people in there with guns. Oh, what are we going to do, And in America, you do need to take it seriously because, like this last guy said, everybody in America's got guns. They're in love with guns. It's a sickness. It's a national sickness, and you can't, for love or money, talk those people out of it. Well, the Fourth Amendment says this, and the Second Amendment says that. Hey, I got an amendment for you right up your ass, okay? You can take your gun and stuff it. I would tell you right now that 98% of the people in the U.S. are not either emotionally or in any other category qualified to be owning a gun. Right?
Right, but just try and stop them. If you try to take your gun away.
Just the three of us, and that's about it.
I don't know about Scott.
Oh, there's the sharper image with that air thing again. The ionic breeze. It blows right through your knees.
Yeah, it blows all right.
For that old guy that just called a little while ago, that one from Brighton. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami on a bad phone.
Hey, you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you didn't put Gloria Estefan on that pole, man. She sucks.
Well, that's something she does good, evidently. That's what, what's his name said. What's his name?
Emilio?
Emilio said. He said she sucks. which is probably the only reason they're still together. Yeah, she was on the list. It's amazing how some of these people, I don't mind adding ones on that we forgot, that's okay, but this guy. And by the way, what we have here is a failure to, educate. A failure to educate. 11:50, what is it, noon already? I'll be damned, it's 1:30. What's that schedule look like today? Well, the little dog is on again. The schedule does say Mandich back next week, and we'll believe that when we hear it. You know, he's been just goofing off a hell of a lot. You think that I'm out of town and off the air too damn much? At least if I'm out of town, I'm still usually on the air. Oh, that would be that. There's another one for the poll. Too many vacations.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Right, that'll win.
Too many vacations. And I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Eric. Got one more. He puts George on
that's gonna
as
win.
a fill-in. He puts
They're
George
kind of the same
on
thing.
to fill-in. Did you ever put on those to fill-in and wrap them real tight around your arms?
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Gang rape is funny.
They rang my doorbell and stood there with their hands held out. They yelled as loud as they could, trick or treat. They'll walk for miles and miles till they fill up all their bags. Then they'll go home and rot out their teeth. On these Halloween nights, with those Halloween kids, they're dressed up so right, taking all that you give, and they'll give you a fright with their big scary wings, getting candy all night. Then they'll eat it like pigs. As soon as it's dark, they show up and they keep coming on and on. 4 hours later, you're finally alone. You end up with 3 bags of candy you couldn't give away. Next year you'll pretend there's nobody home. On those Halloween nights, giving out some Kit Kats to those ghosts dressed in white, making all of them fat. On those Halloween nights, with those Halloween brats, if you turn out your lights, then some eggs will go splat. On these Halloween nights, with those Halloween
I think that it's just fair. Payback is a bitch. That some of the homeowners go out there and buy a few dozen eggs, and when the kids ring the bell, if you're one of those people
there you
that
go.
is like a sourpuss and doesn't like Halloween, you just you kind of blindside them with the eggs, like maybe through the window when they're not looking, when they're standing at the door ringing the bell. Don't you
Right.
think that's a good idea?
It is a good idea. I want to.
Nobody's going to get hurt real bad from an egg in the head, but that's a good way to deter them from defaming your property. And speaking of Halloween, one thing that I really despise, see there I am being negative again because they say I'm too negative, is that Halloween, not the candy you give away, but what is that kernel corn, what do they call that?
Candy corn.
Is that what they call it?
Yes.
You know what I mean, it's like orange and white and real...
And cones.
Huh?
Pointy.
Yeah.
Yeah, candy corn.
That's crap. That stuff, why would anybody eat that? Do people really eat that, or is it just like for decoration?
No, they eat it.
They do?
Sure.
Oh my God, that stuff tastes like mung. If you're going to eat
sugar.
candy, eat something good.
Chocolate.
Get a chunky. Let's see, we got 200, or a crispy critters. 205 votes on a poll already. What's your biggest beef with Neil? And now I'm under 50%. See, that to me, that's like the important support level, as Maria Bartiromo would say. That's the key support level. It's 50%, and I've fallen below. 100 say I have no real beef with Neil. That's 48.7%. So over half the audience has got a beef. He's too effing negative, 21. Too liberal, 18. He's out of Miami too much. He's away, 17. Not enough reading, not enough bedtime stories, 14. He rips Mo too much, 9.
All the crap you can unwrap. All the slime all the time.
He's too much of a fag, 6. He's not enough sports talk, 4. Too much reading, 4. Too much sports talk, 4. See, that kind of cancels out. They're not enough and too much sports talk. Too many vacations, 3. He hangs up on too many callers, 3, and he puts George on to fill in only 2. See?
Oh, it'll win.
Well, I'm sure that we have a few people wish they could change their vote. No, I'm just making that up.
No,
they
you're not.
love the job you've been doing lately. It just keeps getting better and better. In fact, I'm thinking like about 11:30, just for practice.
Let's see.
Here's this thing you just passed along. Join George Miguel and Boca Brian. I remember Boca Brian used to do a lot of really funny stuff for this show.
Hey, it's in the mail.
You know, he ought to be in the mail. I'm going to stamp his damn bald head if he doesn't get with it. You know, one thing I'm learning, never pay people for work up front before the work is done. That would be like paying a cab driver. No, seriously, like paying a cab driver before he gets you to your destination. Okay, sir, here's $30, thank you. Okay, well, get out. You know, that kind of thing. It's not a good practice. Join George Miguel and Boca Brian today, 4 to 6 at the Cheetah in Hellendale Beach, 100 Anson Boulevard. Is there really a place called Anson Boulevard? Is it named after Ed Anson from Channel 7?
No. I don't know, but it's there.
It's not spelled the same. Well, that's 1 block east of I-95 on the north side of Hellendale Beach Boulevard. Enjoy happy hour drink specials and real prizes. Not the usual crap that we try to entice people to show up with. Real prizes like T-shirts and Heat and Panther tickets. And, of course, they'll have the Best of Neil merchandise, too. Our fancy schmancy CDs and those Mo Howard David keychains that we can't give away. So stop by and get some loot and save a dog. Well, that's cute. Abandoned pet rescue. Save a dog. Maybe a pussy or 2 as well.
Yeah, if you want.
Maybe a coon, possum.
An iguana.
Let's see. Neil, maybe on your poll you should change Neil rips Mo too much. It says maybe you should change Neil rips Mo too much and change it to he doesn't rip Mo enough. Okay, well, let's put that one on there, too. There's no limit to the categories we can have on there. It's going to be up all weekend. This is our weekend poll. Let's keep it up all weekend. It says I hate Mo show, the I hate Mo show starting Monday. Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Absolutely.
Keep up the good work, and in closing, aren't we blessed to have the Marlins and Mo Howard David? That's an excellent point. Thank you, Alex. This is a different Alex. Yeah. Different from the usual one. Well, he'll be sounding in. 5670560, pound 560. And seriously, those people, for example, who say, I'm too negative, I'd like to know what I'm negative about. See, those are the emotional cripples out there. Those are the people who'd like me to jump on the Marlin bandwagon and say, we love them. And didn't I beg Monday and Tuesday, by the way? Didn't I beg people to call in on Tuesday from the parades? Didn't I beg for people who were enthusiastic and all excited and whipped up by this? And we didn't get any.
No.
We got finally like 1 or 2 at the end of the show because they felt sorry for me because it was so, or maybe they felt sorry for the community because it was so embarrassing.
Boo called in.
Boo called in twice. Oh, and I noticed line 1 still. I was going to put the battle on, but I can't do it right now. Oh, yes, I can. See, there you go. That was the end of Boo's calls both times. And he said, you hang up on people too much. He's voting on the poll right now. 567, let's see, I'm down to 46.1%. I'm never going to make 50%. Uh-oh, I should never have said that. Now they're really piling on. That's okay, I can handle it. Here's a call from Miami. Buenos dias.
Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get on right after the gentleman called from Boca Raton. I'm at the end of my rope with idiots, okay?
Yeah.
It's funny thing about that story, there was about 10 kids there, and 8 of them were smart enough to go play video games.
Mm-hmm.
8 of them were smart enough at 12:30 night to go and play video games, except for the ones who didn't know any better, who obviously either hadn't been taught well enough, or were too mung-brained to start with to be doing something so stupid. At 12:30 night, if somebody comes on your porch at 12:30 night and wakes you up, how do you think you're going to react? You're probably not going to shoot somebody unless it's previously happened to you twice, which is just what the Palm Beach Post reported to us last week. That twice before
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Was the kid inside the house?
No, but listen, and bottom line is still,
wait a minute,
you're going on someone else's property at night where you know you're not supposed to be. I'm not sticking up for the guy, but we certainly shouldn't vilify a guy who's a victim of being a part of an accident also. You don't think his life is in hell right now?
Well, sure, because he killed a kid. Why shouldn't it be hell?
Why was that kid on his porch, Neil?
But was the kid inside the house? Was the kid inside the house? Was the kid armed? Was the kid dangerous? No, I don't want to argue with you, sir. It's not. It's people who make excuses for people who take other people's lives. This is the biggest problem in America: is that life is too cheap. He killed a kid for no good reason whatsoever. The kid represented no threat to him. In fact, if he was so concerned about it, why didn't he call 911?
He shot the kid in the back.
Yeah, the kid was running away. Oh, but he might have dropped a bag of turds on my front porch or something. One of them pranks that all of us have done. That's just, I think back to Halloweens in past years, okay? And my friends and I, when I was a kid, we had a neighbor right next door to my house. She was a real bitch. You can relate to that. You've had some crappy neighbors in your time. I mean, this was just a hostile, nasty family. And a friend of mine, what the hell was his name? It almost come to me any minute. His name was some Jewish kid. How unusual, in Brighton.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. And we would take bags, we would take a little paper bag and fill it up with like dog poop. You know, we'd get in the backyard. I had a little dog, Skippy, and he would like occasionally actually take a crap. And we'd like stick it in the bag and throw up the bag real tight and put it on her porch. And then run away.
You wouldn't set fire to it?
No, we didn't set fire to it because we lived next door. We didn't want our house to burn down.
Okay.
See, white folks don't burn down their own neighborhoods. But, well, no, it's true.
I guess Jews don't either, huh?
And no, Jews definitely don't do that. But the fact of the matter, they burn down the Palestinian neighborhoods. The fact of the matter is that if somebody would have shot us for putting a bag of dog crap on her porch,
you'd have been pissed.
I think that might have been a little bit over the top, don't you? As the saying goes, a little over the top.
She could have just thrown the bag back at you.
But you see, I'm too negative, and I hung up on that guy. Well, I didn't want to. I mean, he had his say. You know, he was on for quite a while. But I find it difficult for you to accept the fact you're defending a guy, at least in some part, who shot and killed a kid who didn't represent a threat to him or anybody else. And I don't care if he had his home invaded 50 times. This business of making excuses for killing people, this is part of the American sickness. That's why I prefer much of the year to live in a place that's a little bit more civilized, whether you people like it or not. I don't care if anybody likes it.
They don't like it.
I like living in a place, and even the places that I visit. You walk down the streets and you're safe. Not everybody is safe. There's crap that can happen anywhere. But generally speaking, it's not a slaughterhouse. Like Michael Moore tells you, if you watch Bowling for Columbine or read any of his books, America's a freaking slaughterhouse. They're gun crazy. And the bottom line is that not enough of you people have respect for human life. I don't get it. And I'm the one who's supposed to be the heathen bastard. But you see, maybe that's the deal. Because I think you only got one shot at it, if you pardon that expression, and you only live once. So when somebody takes your life away, that's the ultimate. You just can't do it. Can't do it. No excuses. If you're defending yourself, if you or your family or your dog or whatever, if somebody's going to kill you, okay. Blow all that crap away. That's it. Don't give me any inspiration, okay? What's your biggest beef with Neil? I have no real beef with Neil. 111, but that's only 45.4%. Of course, we added some more categories, which is not good for me. See, out of 244 votes, that brings me down. Oh, there's that alarm. Is this the end of the test of the fire alarm, please? Would you please tell us? Yes, you can have my attention momentarily. I'm doing a radio show. Yeah. We've now completed. Okay, dummy up and get lost. Okay, I'm doing a very high-paid show. 111, I have no real beef with Neil. He's too effing negative, 24. He's too liberal, 20. He's away from Miami too much, 17. Not enough reading, not enough bedtime stories, 17. We heard you the first time, asshole. Too many vacations, 13. That's moving up fast. He rips Mo too much, 10. He puts George on to fill in. You're starting to move up a little bit, George. You're up to 9 now, out of nowhere. He's too much of a fag, 6. He hangs up on too many callers, 4. Not enough sports talk, 4. Too much sports talk, 4. Too much reading, 4. And he doesn't rip Mo enough, 1 out of 244. This is a good poll. I like it. And the audience loves it. Boy, and see, this is one of the few shows where you invite people to get right on there on the website and you know, telling me what they don't like. Right?
Right on.
And you know I'm going to make a lot of changes on Monday as a result of this. Huh? No. I might change my underwear each day over the weekend.
Well, let's hope.
That's pretty much about it. What's caramel corn? Is that something different? Caramel corn is like
it's popcorn.
Yeah, that's right. Don't start me with that. I love anything like that. Ain't toffee? I'm obsessed. I have a sick addiction to toffee. That's why I'm so obsessed with Score and Score ice cream and Heath bars, anything. And that coffee toffee crunch that Schwarzer called in one day several months ago, remember? And said that he was eating it every day and it's my fault because I got him addicted on Ben & Jerry's. That coffee toffee crunch, when you put that in the microwave for 48 seconds.
Oh man. Have you ever
just melt it down to like a little oozy consistency? I'm serious. It just, I can't help it. It's just too damn good to be true.
Poppycock. Ever have that?
That's what Rick Weaver used to like.
Yeah.
Poppycock.
We got samples here.
And then I know people who like part of that anyway.
Poppy?
11:14 at 560. Poppy. And speaking of that, look at what a great segue to talk about Delights of West Boca for all you fat people out there who are desperate to get something with some taste. That's why we like the things we just got through talking about, because they have some taste. One thing you'll find is that nobody ever eats 6 sirloin steaks, okay? Nobody ever goes and has 15 lobsters, no matter how good they are, because, it's just not the kind of thing that you jones for, but you want that sweet taste. Most of us who are fat have got a sweet tooth. That's why Delights is so great, because they've got over 1,000 low-carb products in the store that you won't find in your regular pedestrian stores. They got bagels and breads and cheesecakes, muffins, brownies, chocolates, pastas, sauces, chips, dips, soups, ketchups, Carbolite ice cream, and much more too. All of them low carb, sugar free, or damn near close to it. They have Champion Light drinks in 5 delicious flavors. Southern Delight chocolate chip cookies. They got your apple cinnamon granola by Carb Sense and zillions of other great items for your Atkins or other low carb diet. And please don't buy that other book. Please, the South Beach Diet, don't buy it. Don't waste the $25. We can use the money for the dogs. Delights of West Boca, where you can sample each and every product in the store before you buy it, and where also the Atkins products are on sale all day, every day. Delights is open 7 days a week, 10 to 10. You'll find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441, right next to prestigious Boston Market, who's still in business. It's amazing. Or call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB, LOWCARB, or on the web it's lowcarb.com. Delights of West Boca is your official Atkins retail center.
We're Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Don't be fooled by the rocks in my pants. I'm Jenny with the big fat Puerto Rican. I got a secret you may not understand. I'll bet you didn't know I'm really a man. A shapely Puerto Rican Julio Jock. But I'm still known as the girl from the block. Horny men want me a lot. But very little know that I have a big. I got started dressing like this in my teens. Dressing like a hooker queen. With just some collagen and silicone teats. My body's well rounded. Like I told you, I'm a manly man. That's not cottage cheese on my can. I got my weenie back there in the jam. My hair is real. Give it a squeeze. And my hair too. I do a better job on the feminine voice, but I got a little cold, so I don't have a choice. I like the surprise in the eyes of the boys when they get a load of my uncircumcised toy. Nothing else is phony, no hormonies, but under my clothes, the rest is me. Don't be fooled by the rocks in my pants. I'm Jenny with the big fat Puerto Rican. I got a secret you may not understand. I'll bet you didn't know I'm really a man. A shady Puerto Rican Julio Jock. But I'm still known as the girl from the block. Horny men want me a lot, but very little know that I have a big... Oh, wait a minute.
20 after 11 at 560 WQAM. What's your biggest beef with Neil is our poll question today. Big response, 276 votes. We'll get close to 300 in an hour. Not bad, huh?
No, not at all.
We'll start from the bottom. He doesn't rip Mo enough, 2. Too much reading, 4. Too much sports talk, 4. Not enough sports talk, 4. They cancel each other out. Hangs up on too many callers, 4. See, that used to be the big beef. Remember that?
No.
Oh, anybody who disagrees, you don't give him a chance. All that crap, you know. He's too much of a fag, 6. He rips Mo too much, 12. Rips him too much.
Absolutely.
He puts George on to fill in as moving up the list nicely. You're climbing up just like a goddamn cat, climbing up a wall. 16 votes, like a squirrel climbing up the side of your house. Not enough reading. In other words, not enough bedtime stories, 18. He's out of Miami, away from Miami too much, 19. Is it? And I really would like to know why that makes a difference. And I don't want to hear that Tom Jicka thing about the pulse of the community. What difference does that make?
Misery loves company.
Do I go to Calle Ocho? No. Would I have been at the Marlins parades if I would have been there? No.
Because they like you best when you're bitching, and you're only pissed off or at least you're not as pissed off as much when you're up there.
I'm not pissed off at all when I'm here.
See there?
Well, I don't know. The ratings still seem to be pretty good. Somebody's listening, but they would like to have me a little more on edge because they want me to be as unhappy and miserable as they are. And right. Like I said, after this last vacation, I've got a new maple leaf on life. I refuse to do it. I'm just not going to be miserable because you got a bunch of sour, nasty, hateful people who want to export their misery to the rest of the world. Screw it.
Be miserable. Come on.
I won't do it. I won't do it. He's away from Miami too much, 19. Too many vacations, 20. He's too liberal, 20. He's too effing negative, 26, 9.4%. And I have no real beef with Neil is now down to 43.8%, 121. See, if I put on 7 or 8 more categories, I won't even be able to crack 40%.
Right.
So it's like a self-defeating thing. But that's okay. I can handle it. I got the big balls. I can handle it. Here's a fax from Rick who says, where's the spastic spick going to be with the Van Invested Neil merchandise? He's going to be in his orifice with Doreen, servicing that bitch. Says, I have Moolah burning a hole in my pocket, so tell that mango-munching Julio to get off his ass and sell the stuff for the poor puppies and kittens. Lastly, who's that witch on your web page? He broke my screen. Take her off. No, not only are we not going to take her off, but we have a new and improved, real nasty current picture of that bitch to show you she looks not a day over 90. In fact, Scott was saying to me this morning, who said, I don't know if I've seen Screwan or not. He said, I've looked at the picture on the web, and the only person I can see is like a much older version of that crawling around here, some old skank. I said, that's her. Old skanky bitch. Was she at the party last night, George?
Yes, she was.
Screw Ann was at the party, and of course every day when she's there is a party.
Did you see the picture yet?
Oh, it's on there already?
Yeah. A couple others, too.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Plus we got some other stuff. Is that also on there?
Yes.
Because I never know. Well, I'm never on that page. You know me. I have to, see the inside stuff.
We got our own special page.
And boy, this is taking like an extra second. Okay, let's see the... Oh, it's a beautiful thing in time for Halloween. There she is, the Witch of the East, Screw Ann. Oh. Oh, man, is that a beautiful thing. It says it may be Halloween, but this is not a costume. Nice going, Screw Ann, you skanky, nasty, smelly bitch. Let's see, here's the Bushmeister saying, my meeting with Arnold Schwarzenegger was very productive. And there must be more to it. Oh, and then on the bottom, what does it say? I learned that you grab women's boobies like this. Oh, that's right, he's got his hand. That's excellent, that's a beautiful thing. You have to see the whole thing. Oh, and the one beneath that? Just in time for Halloween. I like the prison outfit on the one. Who is that?
I don't know, Pudsley?
Bottom right. Anyway, there's the whole Bush entourage. There's Cheney and Condoleezza. And there's, who's that one? There's Rummy in the background. There's the Bush bunch, just in time for Halloween. It's a beautiful thing. So we got some great stuff for you to peruse on our website, neilrogers.com. And you might also want to make a contribution to Abandoned Pet Rescue, if you would, please. $37,075 is our total as of through yesterday. And we're creeping along. We'll at least crack 50 anyway. Which is about half of what we should do, but it's one of those years. It's tough. Everybody's crying the blues. Can't raise no money for charity, so we'll do the best we can. And if a bunch of little dogs and puppies die and can't have a home because of the fact that you people are too tight, you can live with that. I'm sure you can.
It'll be on them.
That's right. It'll be on your ass the rest of your life. And then, of course, when that day comes, when Judgment Day comes, and the gates of St. whatever it is are waiting for you, St. Peter's, and you'll have to answer, how come you didn't cough up a couple of bucks? Especially most of the people who are inside the building there, like Greg Reed. Did he give you a check at the party last night? No. Man, I'm telling you, Greg, you really are a joke. You're just pathetic. All you do is use and take and use. But when it comes to giving us back and helping us out, can you even imagine at IOD if Bob Green or Mike Disney wouldn't have helped us out with a nice big fat check and when we did our fundraisers? Never would have happened, would it?
No.
Never did happen. And here we got one like major check in there from a Duff who did a nice job. That's because Duff has got a heart. She's got a real heart. She's all heart. Mm-hmm. Although she has a heart problem. No, she doesn't. And, lately I'm missing those health reports I used to get from Duff every morning because he's in a big hurry. He's got to go in there and monitor a Pharrell show.
I'll go get him.
Huh?
He ain't doing nothing right now. I'll go get him.
No, I don't want a health report.
On the air.
How you doing, Duff? You doing okay? Yeah, he said he's okay. He just shaked it. And his head, too. But other than that, we got some people walking around that building. Oh, didn't we also get a check from John Jarvis, you told me? Or did I dream that?
I think we did. I might have had the same dream.
Maybe I just dreamt that. And Ray Perry. And just a handful of people. Screw Ann, what did she give us? Yeah, a big pile of turd, man. That's all she gave us.
Posed for that picture.
And she did pose for the picture?
Sure.
Oh, I thought that was like one of those made-up jobs.
No, I got to pose her like an action figure.
That was for real. In other words, she was in the studio because I see that picture in the background. If you want to see the studio from which George is sitting in right now, and I usually broadcast on the 10 days a year that I'm there, you can take a look at that because she's right in there, and I hope you fumigate it before I get back to town.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Tonight on CSI, Montgomery, Alabama. I won't know for sure until I get to the lab, but I think it looks like coveting thy neighbor's wife. CSI, Montgomery, Alabama, where the 10 Commandments rule. So what do you got for me?
Your victim had tuna salad for lunch, bore a false witness, had at least several false gods before him, and may not have honored his mother and father, but all the tests aren't in yet.
CSI, Montgomery, Alabama, Sunday night at 9, right after Let's Pray Until It Hurts.
Now, see, I played that because that's not, like, hysterically funny, and because we had the facts that said, how about too many unfunny comedy bits? I mean, it had its moments. It was, I give it about a 5 on a scale of 10.
Yeah.
It was weak. Well, that's why I played that one, because I knew it's not very good, and I wanted to read this facts. Also, here's a fact. Now, before I get to the next one, they were just showing again that video, which I'm sure you've seen about 150 times, about the Fedayeen and the brutality of the Iraqis, that video that we now conveniently found to show you how brutal these people are. Of course, they don't want to show you any videos from the Shah of Iran and our boys and the Savak and the things that they did to the people in Iran, and about the Papa Doc and Baby Doc and the things that they did in Haiti.
Right.
All of our close personal friends. But now all of a sudden we decided that the same Saddam that we supported and sold all kinds of chemical and biological weapons to back in the early 80s, he was brutal and he was doing these terrible things. Just like we decided that the Taliban, who we were going to make that great business deal with for that Afghan oil pipeline, after the deal fell through and then turned out they were a bunch of scumbags.
You mean that Taliban that we sent how many millions to?
And of course, thank goodness that our friends the Saudis don't behead those people in that hanging square, whatever the hell they call it. What do they call that corner? They got whatever they call it. They got a name for it. Where they chop people's heads off. Anyway, how about the Headless Horseman? How's he doing? Old Ichabod. Here's another one. Are we going to put that on there? Too many unfunny comedy bits?
I don't care.
Yeah, put them on there. Too many unfunny comedy bits. There's one for you, Eric. And here's one. Now, see, we're not putting this on there because I want to explain to this faxer the way it works. It says he works for a station that plays the same sorry-ass commercials over and over and over and over again. Let me explain this to you, sir. And I'm sure it's a sir. On WQM, and I'm the only one honest enough to tell you this, although I think that if anybody else on our station were, pressed to the test or anybody asked, they would tell you the same thing. See, the Beasleys are a bunch of grave robbers. We don't really care. If we only had one sponsor who just had billions of dollars for an unlimited budget, and we ran one spot, but we ran it like 20 times an hour, we wouldn't care. We don't care if we just played the same spot over and over, back to back, side by each. We wouldn't give a crap.
Besides, the commercials fund the programming. What difference does it make what commercials we're playing?
Because the guy wants, he's reaching. He loves me, don't you understand?
Yeah.
But he's reaching desperately to find something that he can bitch about. And we invited them to do it, and now you're putting them down. No wonder you moved up to almost second place.
Give me a minute.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
You
came
from out of nowhere?
From a sitting start. Just what I said. You weren't on here for like the longest time, for like an hour. And just as an afterthought, we thought, well, maybe a couple of people would be pissed off with George.
You knew that would happen.
What's your biggest beef with Neil? I have no real beef with Neil, 153. That's 42.5%. But that means 57.5% got a beef out of 360 votes. They got a problem with me. Too many vacations, 34. By the way, I have an extra week this year. 6 weeks this year. He puts George on to fill in 31, to fill in. He's too effing negative. Look at how many that's got.
About 30, man.
30, and they still want to tell me what I'm negative about. I want to hear. I want some specifics. He's too liberal, 22. Well, I got news for you. That ain't going to change. That'll change the day that Michael Moore becomes a right-wing Republican. He's not enough reading, 20. Not enough bedtime stories. He's away from Miami too much, 20. 5.5%. Just changed again. I wonder if George is, no, you're still 5 behind the vacation thing. He rips Mo too much, 14. He hangs up on too many callers, 8. He doesn't rip Mo enough, 8. That's catching up. He's too much of a fag, a fairy, 7. Too much sports talk, 5. Too much reading, 4. Not enough sports talk, 4 out of 367. See, I like this kind of stuff. This audience, this is the kind of thing that they can sink their teeth into and go, get it out of their system. No, that's one of the things we provide as a free service in South Florida. We give people a chance. They got a lot of pent-up anger and hostility, and we give them a chance to let it out. When in doubt, let it out, And the anger, too. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami, buenos dias.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening to you for years, Neil.
Yes, sir.
And to tell you the truth, not that I want you to go on vacation, but when you do, and that other guy comes on, that George, puts me to sleep. I get the best 4 hours sleep of my life.
It's not Reverend Jones.
Huh?
Yeah,
he says it's Reverend. It's an old fart with no extra charge for the insomnia cure. It was not Reverend Jones. Every time a caller comes on that you don't like or that doesn't like you, that's Reverend Jones.
No.
It was not Reverend. It didn't even sound. Scott, do you think that was Reverend Jones?
Reverend Jones puts on a voice every time he calls.
That was not Reverend Jones. It was an old codger with like a frog buried in his throat.
Neil, who did you think it was?
That's right. I forgot. Scott still don't have the rest of those hockey tickets. Let me say it again. Scott picked yesterday, which it's rubbing off from this show, my psychic powers. I'm spreading them around. He picked the exact score of last night's Panthers game in Ottawa, which not only the fact that they would win 3-2, but just the exact score. And they had a chance for an empty net goal right there at the end, but they didn't want to spoil it for you. So they shot it wide, they screwed around, and that was it. That was phenomenal. Ottawa, by the way, missed the bus to the arena, but that's their fault. That's their problem. Jacques Martin. 5670560. Pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. This story about this gay kid in Jupiter, this is very American, very pathetic. A gay high school senior says he was outed by a teacher, then kicked out of the Christian high school he attended in Jupiter, Florida.
Ahoy!
Now the family of 18-year-old Jeffrey Woodward has filed a lawsuit against the school in Palm Beach County Circuit Court, claiming the school violated his privacy, disrupted his education, and have not been forthcoming about why it expelled him. A Christian school. You know something? You religionists out there, you make all the rest of us sick to our stomach. We hate you. We can't stand you. Anybody with a brain knows that religion is pure poison. Spell it with me. Poisson. Poison. Poisson. The incident happened August 15 while Woodward was attending Jupiter Christian School, according to the lawsuit. Woodward said a teacher pulled him out of class, assured him that their discussion would be mostly confidential, as long as the teen didn't say anything about bringing a weapon to school or causing anybody harm, statements the teacher would have to report. Woodward says the teacher then asked him if he was gay. He said that rumor had it that I was gay and planned to come out in school, Woodward said. I then admitted to him that I was gay myself, but didn't mention anything about coming out. The teacher didn't tell him why he asked. I trusted that all the things said between us would be kept between me and him, Woodward said, but he believes the teacher told supervisors because the next thing Woodward knew, the dean of students called his mother and said that she needed to meet with school officials to discuss her son's sexual orientation. Carol Glode had already known that her son was gay, but she was appalled that it became the subject of conversation with his teacher. I was shocked that this conversation was held without a parent present with him, and I was shocked that they would have had this conversation with him in the first place, she said. The school declined to speak to Good Morning America of ABC because student confidentiality issues. However, the school disputes Woodward's version of events on its website. Jupiter Christian school officials did not out Mr. Woodward, nor did we violate any request for confidentiality. Any allegation to the contrary is simply false, the statement says. School officials exercised great care and went to extraordinary lengths to work with Mrs. Glode and Jeff on a variety of issues. When given the opportunity, Mrs. Glode declined to follow the published policies of the school, including appeal procedures that relate to any expulsion decision. Indeed, they filed an emotionally charged lawsuit and sought press coverage of their complaints. The website also includes a letter from school president Rich Grimm to parents and school supporters disputing the suit's allegations. Please know that we dispute many of the facts in the claim, as some of this information contradicts our records in our timeline. We have faith that the ministry of Jupiter Christian School will be exonerated. We have faith. Will be exonerated. Thank you for your prayers and support, the letter says. Glode says that when she sat down with Grimm and the dean of students, she said she was told the school had learned Woodward was gay and that she had a couple of choices. Now wait till I want you to listen to this next sentence. They gave us the options of working with the school to help Jeffrey with his problem, or we could voluntarily withdraw him or they would expel him, Glode said. In other words, let the school help him with his problem, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. I see. I didn't know I had a problem.
Oh, yeah. Big one.
Glode and her, no, small one. Glode and her husband support Woodward, don't believe that anyone can overcome their sexual orientation, she said. The family asked for a letter stating the reasons for Woodward's expulsion, but the letter they received contained no answers. This letter serves as notice to you that your son is expelled from the school effective immediately, the letter said. Please know we will be praying for you and your family during this time of transition. The school declined to give her a letter detailing which school policy her son had broken. Nothing in the school manual indicates that gay people can't attend. There's no law in the state of Florida that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, said Trent Steele, the family's attorney. However, under school policy, a student must be given a reason for an expulsion. It's clear that any student expelled must be provided with a letter in writing stating the exact reason for the expulsion, Steele said. That wasn't done here. The lawsuit isn't aimed at changing any laws, but it's aimed at removing the blemish of expulsion from his record, Steele said. According to the school handbook, a student may be expelled only for bringing a weapon to school, committing a felony, or assaulting a teacher or another student. That's it. Not for being a fag. There's no provision for expelling someone for unacceptable moral lifestyle, which was what they appear to have done here, Steele said. Woodward's now attending a public high school, which they should have been doing in the first place. All you religious people, don't put your gay children in a religious school, okay? Is that incredible or what? I want to mention again, just 40 or 50 times. It's, what's the school again? Jupiter Christian School.
Oi! Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM. Now, from Washington, the McLaughlin Group, featuring Eleanor Cliff, Jack Germond, and sitting in for Pat Buchanan, New York Giant Tiki Barber. Now, here's John McLaughlin. Issue 1, George W. Rings or vault? Eleanor Cliff.
Well, John, I'd have to say.
Wrong! Jack Germond.
Well, that's not an easy choice.
Wrong! Wrong. Tiki Barber.
I'm gonna have to say the vote.
Wrong. Actual answer, floor exercise.
That wasn't even a choice.
Next issue, Al Gore. Favorite Broadway show. Bring in the noise, bring in the funk, or Cats. Eleanor G, I think yes, Eleanor.
Well, John, I'd have to say.
Wrong. Jackie, Big Javon.
Well, that's a very difficult choice.
Wrong. Tiki Barber.
I'm gonna have to say Rent.
Not a choice, Riki Tiki Barber.
You gave an answer last time that wasn't a choice.
Wrong. Correct response, Cats. He loves them. Next issue, the cast of Big Brother should be murdered. How? Eleanor.
Guillotine.
Wrong. Jack Jamal.
Dynamite.
Wrong. Tiki Barber.
I don't think they should be killed.
Wrong. Actual answer, poison pudding. Bye-bye.
14. I love it. I just love it. 14 till noon at 560 WQM. Too many unfunny comedy bits. We haven't put that on there yet.
Oh.
You know, I'm looking at this, and I invited them to vote, whatever they think, but this thing about too many vacations, I'm assuming that those people who say too many vacations are people who like it when I'm doing the show, and those people should realize that being a doddering old man who in just a couple of days here now, next Wednesday, I'll be 61 years old, I'll be almost a senior citizen, should realize that the more vacations I have, the longer I can keep hanging out of this thing.
No. 24/7,
I think
baby.
I want to vote for not enough vacations. How many weeks a year do I want?
About 30, man.
That sounds reasonable to me. No, we don't want to. See, if I say that, then Eric will put that on there. Don't put it on there. Not enough vacations, Eric. Even I don't have the balls to do that. Toy gun shuts down U.S. House office building. Now, everybody knows about this thing that happened yesterday, right while we were on the air, but it's interesting how the authorities and the media really combine to give really a fascinating information. For example, they were looking for a man about 5'5" with the dark hair and, well, come to find out that then they were saying it was a man and a woman. Come to find out there were two congressional staff members, both women. There was no 5'5" man.
Where'd that
so
come
nice
from?
job, U.S. Capitol Police. Two congressional staff members, both women, called police to say they had the bag that they were searching for. U.S. Capitol Police Chief Terrence Gaynor explained to reporters shortly before 3 p.m. The women put bags containing Halloween costumes through the X-ray machine. The officer at the machine turned briefly to answer a question from another person, and the women took their bags, left the checkpoint. Now, when you're at the airport, for example, you see that happening all the time. Now, let me just say this to you, okay, all you $3.50 an hour assholes who are sitting there supposedly guarding the security of mankind. You don't have to, look at somebody to talk to them. I realize that's a great, a novel approach to life, but you can actually continue looking at your screen, doing your job, without diverting your attention and getting, but a lot of those people want their attention diverted. You see it all the time. They're not paying any attention. 16 bags with 400 hand grenades and 15 shotguns and a partridge in a pear tree and a bunch of mace and whatever else and knives and stuff. It's going through there and they're busy. Oh, well, the restroom is over there. You should have gone before you came through the security checkpoint. Whatever, Or would you please take your damn machete and check it at the thing because you can't bring it on the plane. See it all the time. Not that I want to, get anybody scared because that's what the administration wants. Just like one of the stories says on our website today, fear is what they need to win the election next year. That's what they need to do, and they're doing a great job of it. In fact, maybe the whole thing yesterday was just staged, part of a series of staged events to keep people on edge. Wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people get their doorbells rung tonight by strangers. What's your biggest beef with Neil, we're asking? 412 votes. I have no real beef with Neil. 175, 42.4%. Too many vacations, 40, 9.7%. You're right on the ass. For a second there, you actually were ahead.
Oh, I thought it was tight.
You got a good battle for a second. He puts George on to fill in 39. He's too effing negative 32. I still don't know about what. I'm waiting to hear. He's too liberal 27. He's out of Miami too much 22. Not enough reading, not enough bedtime stories 20. He rips Mo too much 15. Doesn't rip Mo enough 12. That'll pass the other one. He's too much of a faggot, fairy, maricon, bugarron, 9. Limp wrist. He hangs up on too many callers, 8. Too much sports talk, 5. Too much reading, 4. Not enough sports talk, 4 out of 412 votes. Now look at that phone. Pretty weak response here. 5670560. Pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. See, because they don't have the courage of their convictions. They won't call and say what it is, for example, I'm too negative. What it's negative about. How do I know unless they tell me, right?
Right.
Here's Miami. Hello.
Information about our...
Okay, so we got one call on the board, and it's from Coral Springs. Hello.
Hi, Neil. I agree with you. George is too quick on the button.
And I vote for number 8.
That was Reverend Jones, see? That was Reverend Jones. So that takes care of the calls. Let's do screenless the rest of the day, Scott. We'll give you the rest of the day off just as a reward for picking the exact score of that hockey game last night.
I'll give you tomorrow's results, too, if you'd like.
No. Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't push it, okay?
All right.
Don't push your luck. Take it from an old fart like me. Don't push your luck. Just like this show today. I thought we were really off to the races here today, and look at what we ran into, like a brick wall. Is Fix-It going to work on his phone over the weekend, or somebody, please?
Stop causing trouble.
Line 1 not working there leaves you a visual image that just is not, it's not acceptable. It's unpalatable. WQAM.
Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. It's Woody, You don't have to tell me. I know it's Woody.
Well, you didn't know it was
After the first word, I knew it was Woody. I can tell a Woody when I see one. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to give my opinion on Neil's survey.
Go right ahead. Let me say it again. Go right ahead, sir. Please. You're on right now.
I'm on live?
This is you and this is me. You're on live on QAM. Isn't that exciting?
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell him George sucks. And that's...
Well, that's that same guy, too. We'd like to have some different people already. We already know what Woody thinks and the George Sucks guy thinks. We'd like to hear from some different people who ordinarily just sit back and are amused and amazed by the parade of assholes. We'd like some different assholes to call in today, okay? As opposed to the same old pedestrian assholes that we hear from day after day for many, many years.
About 30, man.
You know, it gets a little bit ponderous. You know, it's not really fresh and entertaining. Now, what is that call you got on hold there from Miami? Hello?
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Another option for your poll, too many bad words.
Yeah.
You can put that one on there.
That's right, you profane
Too many bad words.
bastard.
You can put that one on there.
Such as?
For other religious people.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good, he's right, that is a good suggestion. Too much foul language.
Yeah.
That's a very good one. I like that. Thank you, sir. You just redeemed yourself.
Potty mouth asshole.
In spite of your foreskin, he just redeemed himself. That's right, that's me, old potty mouth. Can't help it, I got the parrot syndrome. Nathan Parrott, who led in one of those Buffalo goals last night. By the way, back to the Miners, back to St. John's, Nathan, you suck. What? What?
Oh, man.
419 votes on the poll. And let's see if George can move it to second place. I'm taking a look at it. No, you're still one behind the vacations.
Just wait till I get
home. Too many
home.
vacations. 41 people say, you're always on vacation. What kind of a job is that for the kind of money you're paying? And I'm going to say, you sound jealous to me.
Got 3 computers I can
How'd
vote
you
for
look
at
to
home.
get paid this kind of money working 10 days a year, huh? Oh, yeah. See, I may not disagree with you, but am I going to turn it down?
No.
It's like Payrod, man. Hey, how about $25 million a year? Sure, I'll take it. Look at that. I led the league in home runs and whatever else. Yeah, and we still finished in last place. Well, that's okay. See, that's the difference between a guy like Payrod and a guy like me. What was WQAM in the last rating book this summer, in its gigantic rating book? Thanks, of course, in part to us, but also thanks to a lot of other people like Pharrell and even the Momeister and the Mad Dog and the Humper.
We're number 1, damn it!
And Joe and Mark overnight.
We're number 1, damn it!
See? So I'm on a winning team, not on a last place than a team like Payrod, but I would rather swap my salary for his $25 million. Wouldn't you?
I'll take yours then.
Okay. And Scott can have the hockey tickets. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Where are you calling from?
I'm on the road, Martin County. Another asshole here today. A different
All
one.
right. Excellent.
Been listening to the show since like the early 80s, just before the Birds started. And
all right.
Remember when you just played a few bits, from American comedy, and now it's like you got a whole lot of bits, and that's the only thing I would put on your poll. But I guess
how about too many comedy bits?
Just too many bits, funny or not, because we've heard them so many times. If they were funny, I mean, it's like that About 30 thing. You've killed that too.
About 30, man.
Oh no, everybody loves that. Now they still love that.
Oh, you're killing me.
Okay, man. We'll put it on there. Thanks for the memories. And have a great day. I think his phone crapped out. Or maybe he just died. No, that's a good point. Too many comedy bits. Did we put too many bad ones? No, let's just put too many comedy bits.
Right.
Okay. And what was the other thing you said there right at the end that seemed to make a little bit of sense?
About 30, man.
Oh, no, too many comedy bits. Some people will agree with that. And what was the other one we just said before, but,
too much foul language is
there
already
it is.
on there.
Too much foul language has already got a vote. Oh! God damn it.
That guy was fast.
Yeah, he didn't waste no time. Now, he was good. Thank you very much, amigo mío. Mijo, oh, mijo. You ought to hear Pilar on Passion.
Your what?
Mijo. Because they thought Luis was dead. But he just kind of dusted himself off, and Hank helped him out. You notice how Edna Wallace, how every time the police come there, especially Hank, she's always got her hands all over him and grabbing his arm. Oh, you muscular young policeman. She's something else. Everybody ought to have a mama like Edna.
My and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
Well, good morning. This is former Vice President and former presidential candidate Al Gore. I'm here to quash the rumors. I am alive. I used to be the man who was in control. I used to be the man who was on a roll. Now I just sit home in my undies and socks, looking for that key to my damn lockbox. Oh, Dick Cheney, you think you're special? Oh, Dick Cheney, you think you're something else. So you're Mr. Popular VP. That don't impress me much. You're at least as fat as I am, and you're balding. Now, don't get me wrong, Dick, I think you're all right. But how many times does your heart beat at night? You don't impress me much. Zap. Scary. Now on to your boss, who's a real big man. He should write thank you notes to Afghanistan. There's only two types of things from Texas, you know. His dad's Ben Cartwright, and he's little Joe. Oh, George Bush, you think you're special? Oh, George Bush, you think you're something else? So you're Mr. Popular President, huh? That don't impress me much. If I want to be hurtful, I can be so. Your ears are bigger than Ross Perot. Now, don't get me wrong, George, I think you're all right. But how many beers do your girls drink at night? You don't impress me much. Bill Clinton, there was a real president, a real man. And what about me? Look at me. I am a pillar of perfection, though I must admit a tad on the fleshy side. Maybe I should hit the gym. No, I'm beautiful.
443 votes on our poll on NeilRogers.com, and none for Too Many Comedy Bits. That's why I played that one there.
Yeah.
Because it's another comedy bit. Join George Miguel and Boca Brian, who used to do a lot of really funny stuff for the show before he started making all kinds of excuses. Join them today 4 to 6 at the Cheetah in Hallandale Beach, 100 Anson Boulevard. Anson Boulevard, A-N-S. Is that how it's really spelled, A-N-S-I-N?
I guess.
Is it in sin?
It's a sin. Everything
a block east of I-95 on the north side of Hallandale Beach Boulevard. There'd probably be a lot of sins going on there at the Cheetah. Enjoy happy hour drink specials and real nifty prizes, not the usual crap that we give away. Real prizes like T-shirts and Heat and Panther tickets and a bunch of stuff. We're going to have some of them Marlin T-shirts to give away too?
Yeah, I think we might.
All right. Of course, they'll have the Best of Neil stuff for, we'll have that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that stuff for abandoned pet rescue for them poor desperate dogs and cats and parakeets and lizards and stuff. So stop by and get some loot and save a dog at the same time. That's 4 to 6 this afternoon at the Cheetah in Hallandale Beach. 5, 6, 7. We're doing screenless now till 2 o'clock because Scott's definitely he's overworked. Plus, they like this every now and then, and I like it too. It's a little more exciting. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T. Plus, it kills a lot of time because it takes at least 30 seconds until they realize that it's screenless and that they're actually on the air. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Good. I used to listen to you back in over at Zeta. Over in 94.9.
Oh, yeah, back when the show was good, right.
Yeah. That's when you used to talk about Jovan.
Yeah.
It was all they heard. It's coming back in after that, too.
What happened there?
No, you wouldn't know who that is. He's the Jovan guy. That's the Winchell Donut Jovan guy. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T. And Verizon Wireless line. See, I told you, we need some different assholes, not the usual ones, Woody and Reverend Jones. I mean, at least Reverend Jones, once in a great while, is somewhat amusing. I hate to say that because that'll encourage him, but you got to hand it to him. But Woody is not funny. He's detestable. We hate him even worse than we hate Screw-Ann, which is saying a hell of a lot, almost as much as we hate Todd Dreck, and certainly 10 times as much as we hate Mo.
Absolutely.
How do you like that?
Yeah, but
that
not
says
as much.
It all, Woody. Okay, we wish you would die a horrendous death. We don't want anybody else to die, so don't get in a wreck or something like that, unless it's into the side of a building that's like an abandoned old building that's empty.
He wouldn't die, would he?
Just crash right into it. And we can only pray. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get a chance to call in yesterday. I called, but I kept getting a busy signal.
Go right ahead.
Regarding your poll yesterday.
Right.
Start spreading the news.
Start spreading the news. New York, New York, you mean, is the name of the song.
New York, from Frank Sinatra.
Good choice. Excellent.
I want to ask you something about the Panthers. Are they ever going to get competitive again?
No.
Or do we need to get a new GM and a whole new ownership all over again?
I want to tell you one thing, though. I got to hand it, because I did see a little bit of that game last night. I was thinking to myself, you got to hand it to Mike Keenan, because actually he's doing a pretty decent job. They're not off to that bad of a start. With very little talent there. There's 4 or 5 guys on the team who are like real players, and the rest of it is like make-believe. But do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No.
No, they're not going to make the playoffs.
No.
I mean, they're
Because I'll tell you, Tampa Bay and Atlanta are on fire this year, and they're just too, and the Islanders, they're just too many teams they're going to have to beat out. Even Montreal's got a shot.
It's real sad when they can't even compete in a weak division.
Right. In a division where Washington's got 3 points to show you how weak the division is. Washington's got 3 points.
3.
3, count them, 3. Uno, dos, tres.
It's just another thing about Wayne. He dismantled the Panthers just like he did with the Marlins.
That's correct. That is correct. And then the new owners thought they were really smart. They left Mr. Bowtie in there to finish off the job that BM did before him and get rid of all the players, Whitney and Mellenby and all the guys who were like real players, and Sillinger. And now what you got is like a bunch of the youngsters in the organization again. Well, keep your legs crossed, pal. Hope for the best, because Scott says they're going to win the tie tomorrow night.
Miracle on Ice 2.
He said 2-2. They're going to put on a 2-2 and they're going to tie it. Ole Jokinen's turned out to be a real player, and Victor Kozlov, in between doing his figure eights, has actually scored 4 goals already.
Amazing.
Anybody care about the Panthers?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. How many people do you think they're going to have for the San Jose game tomorrow night, now that the series is over?
About 30, man.
They'll have some people in there, some asses in the seats. Scott's going to be there. Did we give you tickets for that game?
You sure did.
All right. There you go. Scott's going to be there. He'll be sitting in my tickets. Go up to him in between the periods or even during the game if it's boring and say, hey, are you that Scott? Not the Scott Farrell guy, but the other Scott guy that they're always picking on, and say, uh-huh. And I'll say, oh, well, we can see why.
I'll dare them.
Look at this. George has pulled into second place. Oh! What's your biggest beef with old Neil? I have no real beef with Neil, 195. He puts George on to fill in 43. Too Many Vacations, 42. So there's a real nose-to-nose, neck-and-neck. It's like affirmed in Alidar. A vote apart for second place. He's too effing negative 35, and I still don't know about what. See, I still think a lot of that has to do like that guy that called me on Tuesday or whatever it was about, well, I've listened for 30 years and I just don't understand. He's still listening now, as a matter of fact. Right. You know that.
I just don't get you.
How you doing, schmuck? He doesn't get, because I refused to jump on the bandwagon and pretend that all of this euphoria was going on was legitimate. And like Linda Robertson wrote in that column I read yesterday, most of these people never even went to a game, a Marlin game. This year, last year, last Sukkot, anytime, or maybe 1 or 2 games in the history of the team. And yet they're jumping, we won the championship, we are so great, da-da-da-da, all this other crap, And they're already making excuses why they're not going to go to the new ballpark if and when they build it, because it's the South Florida effing way. It's the excuse factor. We always have an excuse. Oh, well, it's Passover next year, or it's going to be, there's a cloud in the sky, or my cat's got wild diarrhea and I can't leave the house because the litter box is overflowing, or something, Or it's too far away, they didn't build it next to my house, or parking costs too much. But it's amazing that when it was the championship time in the playoffs and then in the World Series, it wouldn't have made any difference how much they charge. All of a sudden they found tons of money in their backyard under a tree somewhere. They all found big piles of money. They were like climbing all over each other to jump on the bandwagon.
Even for parking.
Even for parking what?
$20 to park at the World Series.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Is it the playoffs? Is it the World Series? We'll pay $100. We don't care. We want to be in on this. We want to be in on something good here. WQAM.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I on?
It sounds exactly like you.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, sir.
Hey, a couple of things. Firstly, in your poll...
This sounds like Orlando Alzagiri.
No. Hey, in your poll, the one of George and the one of you going on too many vacations,
right?
They're kind of one and the same.
Yeah, that's true. There is some crossover there.
You know, so George has some more points there.
So George, instead of 45, you ought to have all 87 votes.
Right.
Okay. You got 87 votes, George.
All right.
That's all I got. I hate George. All right, bye.
Oh. Well, see, it's difficult because, like, when you're filling in, like last week when I'm on vacation and you're doing a show, if you took a poll, who do you hate worse, Neil or George? And, of course, you'd have I don't hate anybody, which there are maybe 5 or 6 people would say that. But you see what I'm saying? When you're on, because it's the people who like you, you would think.
You would think. No, you know how that works, though.
Yeah.
They listen and say they hate it.
Right. So in other words, what you're trying to do is say the people who say that they hate you actually like you.
They might actually hate me, but they still listen.
But oh no, we know that. There's no question. They're all listening. The whole town is listening right now. Even Paul and old Ron, they're listening.
Sure, taking notes too.
And by the way, we still don't want you on QAM. I checked with Greg and he said we don't want to hire that loser. Okay. I know it's really tough working over there for Cheap Channel, even though your numbers are pretty good, Paul, but I know it's kind of tough, so you have to make up all kinds of stories and try to twist and turn and use me as like a lightning rod to try to drum up the audience. It ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. Joey tried that in South Florida too. Really worked well for him. Yeah. Oh, by the way, and speaking of that, there was another one with Joey. Joey grabbed onto all the losers, all of the Chronics, all of the losers, Billy, whatever that guy's name was, all the crap, man. He was like a crap magnet, was Joey Reynolds.
A crap.
Those were the good old days, man. I sure wish we were back on FM like those Zeta days, like the guy that called before said.
Yeah. Then they would fear you.
What? That's right. Then they would really fear me if I was on FM. See, because Cheap Channel is like praying they have a voodoo doll and they think that I'm going to like croak or something.
Neil wakes me up in the morning.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to live to be 100 just to piss off David Ross and all those people at Cheap Channel, and the Pete Bolger especially. And just keep jamming it down your throat, and jamming it down your throat, and jamming it down your throat, and put big numbers in there because you people suck, and you piss off, you've destroyed the whole freaking business, all right, with your friends in the Bush administration and Michael Powell there at the FCNC. You people suck. You're a disgrace. You're an embarrassment to the human race.
Neil wakes me up with a smile. Yeah. Drinking my coffee, munching on my donut, with Zeta 4 on the dial. Get ready to go to school with Neil, with Zeta 4 on the dial. Driving to work in my road with a jolly Neil, with Zeta 4 on my dial. Oh, really? Neil, Neil, Neil. Neil, 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 Neil. Neil, Neil, Neil. Neil, 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 Neil. Neil, Neil, Neil.
I used to frost his ass so bad. 12:13 at 560 on the world famous Neil Rogers show that years ago used to be pretty good.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Presents over 748 of the greatest songs of love, especially for the lady in your life by Jerry Lewis.
Lady, when I'm with you, I'm crazy.
So many love songs for your lady, all interpreted by the Love Meister himself, an inimitable superstar entertainer, Jerry Lewis. And you'll get your favorite lady love songs.
Lady, lay across my big breast and...
It's an amazing compendium of 748 love songs for your lady, all digitally remastered and all performed by the masterful superstar, Jerry Lewis.
Hi, this is Jerry, inviting you to join me on KTEL Records as we pay a very special musical tribute to the lady.
You'll get this Aerosmith classic.
Hey, dude looks like a lady. Hey, dude looks like a lady.
It's Jerry.
It's the little old lady with a pair of tweezers.
And Helen Reddy's hit never sounded better.
That ain't no way to treat a lady, no way to treat your lady, no woman.
And listen to Jerry's amazing interpretation of this super hit from the King of Pop.
You are the lady with my wife, the lady. You are the lady with a knife.
Jerry Lewis.
Oh yeah, how about that?
That's 748 fabulous lady songs on 35 CDs or 123 8-track tapes, all remixed in glorious mono from the original cassette masters. And it's a collection you'll cherish, your friends will love, and your lady will never forget. It's all yours for 17 easy payments of only $32.95, and it's only from K-Tel Records. You can tell it's K-Tel. We yell.
Pub 19 at 560 WQAM. Remember the guy that called a few days ago, I guess it was on Monday, and said that he once knew Jerry Lewis, and how come we don't like him on this show? Remember that?
Yes.
Well, guess what? We still don't like him. With or without the fat head. I just don't like him. You don't like him.
I don't like him.
I don't know anybody who does like him except the French.
When I was a little kid, I liked some of those silly movies.
Right. We're talking about now.
Right,
in the last several years.
About 30, man.
We don't like him. Oh, but he does all those wonderful things. We still don't like him. He's become like a neurotic, just annoying, aggravating, chain-smoking piece of crap. We don't like him. John from Exton, Pennsylvania. Thank you, John. You're probably our only listener in Exton, Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
I would think. Maybe ever. He faxes and says, for today's poll, too much poll talk.
Yeah.
I like that. Huh?
He's got a point.
He's got an excellent point. How are the results of the poll coming? Oh, see, there he goes again. See, John, what you don't understand is it kills some excellent time. And especially when you put like 100 categories on there, every time you read the poll result, it kills like another half an hour. And then the show's almost done. There's we're no fools here, man. I'm eating a weenie, by the way. Is that okay? I heated it up during the...
Again?
I heated it up during the break. Nice hot weenie. What's your biggest beef with Neil? John and wherever the hell you are. Look at that. Too many comedy bits has got one vote out of 484. Only one. They like the comedy bits, and most of them. And we don't see the guy that said before. Well, we hear the same ones over and over again. Like
about 30, man.
God, I wish I had about 10,000 drop-ins like that. Everybody in town, the whole town is saying it. That's what makes this show. For example,
It puts the lotion in the basket.
people are saying that who don't even know what the hell it means.
Speaking
That's
of that,
right.
that
Right?
Arnold Anteater bit.
Look at all the people who say
Unbelievable.
right. Although I still say I like this better.
Unbelievable.
That's the original one, much better. Speaking of the old Zeta days, I love that.
Unbelievable.
I think that's Jim Schuyler, isn't it?
I don't
Whatever
know.
happened to Jim Schuyler? Is he still alive? We don't know. He's a good guy. I like Jim Schuyler. See, all you people who say you're so negative. There's a lot of people I like, but nobody wants to hear about that.
No, that's
They
boring.
want to hear us ripping people in ass. They love that. That's what America, that's why you have all these reality shows, so they can just turn on each other and stab each other in the back and rip each other in ass. And like even on Playboy TV, they have that show with the 7 people living in the same house. You know what the name of that is?
No.
You know what I'm talking about. There's 7
No.
people. There's these, look what's going on there.
Ooh. Do a play-by-play. Blow-by-blow.
No, because I don't want to be talking with a mouthful.
I
Like
see.
she's doing. No, you never saw that show? What about Scott? Well, Scott can't afford Playboy TV. But they have 7 people living in the house, and besides screwing their brains out and the usual sexual stuff, they spend all the rest of the time just turning on each other and ripping and bitching each other out and slapping each other on the side of the head. Just like, what's her name does? Gwen on Passion, slapping Teresa on the side. You bitch! With bedtime. I love those scenes. Those are the best. You bitch! Speaking of language, they use some pretty spicy language on that show, too, for afternoon TV, which is another reason I like it. See, I like real language. I don't like these goody two-shoe assholes. Oh, gee, you hear just said asshole again.
See, foul language.
Mm-hmm, good. Well, let's see how that one's doing. Let's for our friend from Exton, PA, take a look at the poll. 1, too many comedy bits. Too much foul language, 2, goddammit. Too much reading, 4. Not enough sports talk, 4. Too much sports talk, 5. See, that all cancels out. He's too much of a fag, 10. Too much of a fag. Remember that song by the Buckinghams?
No.
It was kind of like this one.
Kind of a fag.
Right. Right, something like that. 10 votes for fag. He hangs up on too many callers, 11. He rips Mo too much, 15. He doesn't rip Mo enough, 18. See, it passed that like he was standing still.
Absolutely.
With his Zubas pants. Not enough reading, not enough bedtime stories no more, 22, like we used to for those 7 glorious months that George and I enjoyed and everybody else hated. But at least there's 22 other people liked it. He's away from Miami too much, 23. Why don't you here, Neil? We want you right here so we can take a look at you, so we can make you miserable and he's too liberal, 32. He's too effing negative, 36. I'm still waiting. I'm inviting you. I'd like to hear about what. Too many vacations, 42. He puts George on to fill in, is pulling away, 52.
94 if you add him up.
A very respectable second place. You don't need any help. You're in second. And I have no real beef with Neil, 209, 43%, which would be a much higher percentage except for the fact that we put so many categories on the pool. So there you go, John, and next in PA. Thank you for an excellent choice. Too much pool talk. Too much pool tax. I think Miriam Elephant, I think what we're going to do is have a pool tax in Broward.
Under Polecat?
Except for those people who got like 16 or 17 ballots in the mail. And, of course, the 80,000 who didn't get any yet. Well, too bad. Maybe she don't like you. Maybe she don't like your politics. That could be it.
Or your
How can that bitch still have a job, you know?
You know.
If Miriam Elephant were white, do you think there's any...
No. A white elephant?
Yeah, the old white elephant. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
The name of the program is 7 Lives Exposed.
Right. Excellent show.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Pervert.
Talk to you later.
Okay, thanks. 7 Lives Exposed. There's a guy, a young guy. He's got a firm grip on life. I'll guarantee you, around the clock. Clock, I said, with an L. No, seriously, because Playboy TV, I'm pretty amazed because when Playboy TV first came on, they had a lot of these like interview shows and women's shows. You know what I mean? It wasn't really all that sexy. Now, it's like heavy duty, except one thing they don't show is like the male orgasm.
Squirt.
You don't see that.
Oh, the money shot?
There's no cum shots, no. And that's it, I think. Other than that, I think you see pretty much. And then 11 o'clock at night, they have like X-rated movies, but also. See, it's interesting, but X-rated movies, they make all different kinds of versions of, which I never realized until recently.
Yeah, they did.
They do. Sure. They make one, they put together that's like R-rated, that you see absolutely nothing. They make the kind that you see on Playboy TV where they take out
squirt
only certain things. And then, of course, there's the full blown. Huh? Well, there's nothing like being full blown.
Live and local. This is 560.
See, there goes that language again.
QAM. Weekend, WQAM 56.
Do you fear your nephew is in hell?
I feel that my nephew is not with the Lord, no.
Not with the Lord. Then, in other words, in hell.
I don't know. I feel he's not with the Lord, no. And because they ate part of his body like a limbo.
You fear that Roman Catholic communion is they ate your nephew's body?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have on the line in Van Nuys here a Roman Catholic priest on KFI AM 640. Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Listen, ma'am, first of all, I offer my condolences to you on the loss of your nephew.
Are you a priest?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to let you clarify something for you, okay?
Yes.
So this is just, you've been misinformed about the Catholic Church.
Why do you eat people?
Well, if you just hang on, I will explain to you what our belief is, and then you can draw your own conclusion.
But you eat people?
Let me explain what our teaching is, and you draw your own conclusion.
Let the father explain, okay?
Okay, first of all, we believe that when you receive communion, we receive the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Well, hold on, ma'am.
No, ma'am. I'm just calling to let you know what our belief is.
You eat flesh and blood.
If you want to look at it that way, that's fine.
Oh, my God.
That's fine.
I want to vomit.
This is our belief, and you draw your own conclusion.
I want to vomit.
Ma'am, you got to let the father explain.
Why would I want to hear him talk about eating
Well, because you've been misinformed.
This is like Hellraiser, like Clive Barker.
Okay, first of all, you're upset because you've been misinformed about what happened to your nephew in our ritual.
You eat the butt, you eat the whole damn thing, though.
Excuse me?
Don't you eat it?
We eat the host, yes.
The host.
But he said he eats the whole body of the man.
That's not what I said.
You said you eat the blood and the flesh.
Of who?
Of the man.
No, of Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. That is a blasphemy.
Well, if you choose to believe that, all I'm trying to do is inform you about our belief because you've been misinformed.
Do you eat up on the booty, too?
I'm not even going to answer that.
I don't understand. What's that mean?
What is this man talking about eating the Lord Jesus?
Let him finish.
Okay.
Let him just say what he has to say.
From the scriptures, ma'am, where Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and said, "Take this and eat it. This is my body."
Oh, God.
And then he took the cup of wine and he said, "Take and drink. This is my blood." And again he says, "Unless you eat my body and drink my blood, you have no life within you."
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is Good Friday.
Exactly.
And you're talking about eating up on Jesus.
I'm just calling to inform you of what we believe.
You're grubbing on Jesus, ain't you?
If you choose to believe
You're
that.
grubbing all over on Jesus.
If that's what you choose to believe.
And my nephew, what about him?
Okay, ma'am, as again.
Macking on Jesus. Them Catholics macked on my boy.
Macked on your boy.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
Them Catholics macked on your boy, huh?
You want to laugh
No,
at me?
Phil, can I ask you a
You son
question?
of a bitch can laugh at me?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question here.
It's like some kind of Negro smorgasbord over there.
Well, I'll tell you. Listen.
Okay, now, as far as that other man is concerned.
It's like a brother buffet.
Oh, my gosh. I'm in the phone booth.
Listen, Father, I thank you for taking the time.
Okay.
I really do.
Ma'am, you have a good Easter.
Well, you pay for your sins.
Well, I'll leave that up to God.
That's true. Thanks, Father. All right. Bye-bye. That was a Roman Catholic priest.
They're macking on my boy like a brother buffet. Oh, you can eat me. Oh.
What was it? What's it called, man?
All you can eat Negro.
Oh, no. All you can eat Negro. Oh, God. So, I understand.
Yeah, we know. We understand. It's 12:35. Those were the days, baby, weren't they?
Boy.
Okay.
Those were the days, but you ain't gonna have them no more. This poll suggestion you faxed me is just so typical. Did you look at it?
Did I?
Idea for Monday's poll, and we've already done this, and every time we do this, I mean, it's even more ridiculous than the other ones. Most underrated actor of all time. And then it says, for instance, not the Clint Eastwoods, Tom Hanks, or some other real good and famous leading actor. My list to start with, it says, Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, and Jeff Bridges.
They're underrated?
That's my point. That's why it's so ridiculous. Not like Clint Eastwood or Tom Hanks, but more like Gene Hackman and Robert Duvall. It just, thanks for the idea, but it blows. Okay, it's really weak. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. I might sneak some time in here. This article by Molly Ivan, Small Favors. Call me a Bush hater.
Please.
Huh? Yeah, it's pretty long, though. And we've got a couple of calls on there on the screen list. WQAM.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Pretty good.
Hey, I just heard that clip from Phil Henry, man. I've never called back up, and I was slapping my ass off. And at the end there, I heard Neil say those were the days. Too bad they're gone. Should I read into that, or I just turned it on? So that's what I wanted to talk
read into
about.
what?
Did they? What's Phil Henry? Did they take his show off in L.A.?
No. I was just talking about the days at IOD when we all worked together, and when he was really hysterically funny. And that's what I was talking about.
Oh my God, he's the best. I still listen to him. I don't want to plug somebody else, but you know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, later on in the night, he's still on, man. He is
I know
awesome.
that.
He is so funny. Neil, I've never called you before. That guy, I mean, and I'm not taking any credit away from you. He is
that's
the
okay.
master.
That's okay, because I'm making a lot more money in here, so that's all right.
But he's so, I mean, how he pulls some of that crap off. I mean, sometimes he's doing 2 and 3 voices at a time. So I just had to call. I thought maybe they took him off or something. You had
No, he's still on.
Well, I love you both, and Neil God, Phil lives on. Have a great day.
Okay, see, there you go. He's happy. He likes Phil, likes me. We used to like Phil a lot until he turned on me. We raised $20,000 for his charity in L.A., but that's the way it goes. These things happen, you know. People become bitter and old, whatever his story is. 5670560 pound what? And married to some broad who maybe is screwing up his life. I don't know, but he sure made a turn for the worst. I'll tell you that. And then that whole right wing thing during the war, and who knows? I don't know what he's doing now because I don't listen to him.
That TV show, right?
No, the TV show that got canceled because he had the balls to come out in favor of the war, you know. WQAM, hello. Gone. Line 8 is gone, and that's a shame, you know what? WQAM. Line 3 is gone. We're doing screenless, and they're just not even hanging on. You could tell that because when they really have something to say and we're doing screenless, even during the breaks, you know, the phones are frantically flashing away. But you can see now it's just, they got no material. They have no material today. And I'll say it again, I've requested, for example, some of these categories in our pool, which a lot of times they want to talk about the pool when even there's nothing to talk about. But he's too effing negative, 7% of the audience, 7.3%. And I'd like to find out about what, since these are people who at least admit that they still listen, even though I'm this and I'm that. And we invited them to tell me I'm this and I'm that. You know. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if people call and say you're this or you're that and you didn't invite it, but if they say...
You're gay.
Well, I invited that, so I have no problem with that.
You're gay.
Okay, we know that. WQAM.
Yes, I'd like to speak with Neil, please.
I beg your pardon?
I'd like to speak with Neil, please.
You're speaking to him right now.
Hi, Neil. How are you this afternoon?
Pretty good.
I'm just reaching out to you. I wanted to get your thoughts on any upcoming personal appearances you might be making.
Meaning what?
Well, are you going to be doing any promos, personal appearances, where
No.
you go out and wear those pathetic clothes that you always wear?
No, I'm not.
Who dresses you?
My mom.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
Blow it out your ass. That's the same guy who's always talking about my clothes. That's another one of the Chronics who's still there after all of these years.
Oh!
Let's hear it. Another one. You're still going to be going out wearing those pathetic clothes. No, I'm wearing the pathetic clothes here now, see, and nobody really cares.
You are wearing clothes today?
No, I'm wearing my boxer shorts, and they're lovely as a matter of fact.
What? Print? Solid?
With a nice print pattern on them.
Blue?
I have some solid colors, some print, some are like daisies and pansies, some polka dots.
Yeah? Got
Yeah.
that flap in the front there?
In fact, maybe for this last guy, maybe we can put some pictures on a website.
Get you that camera.
We're Sports Radio
I got it.
560 QAM. On that sunny day, I didn't know I'd meet such an overdose girl passed out in the street with those bloodshot eyes. There's cozy love now. They booked her downtown, but she done got bailed out. Mama, listen, Mr. Meter, I feel for you. You snorted things they warned you not to. You know your habit 'cause you hold lots of farm. Have you noticed your love? You've got some tracks on your arms.
12:45, not as good as Jared though. 12:45 at 560. I'm thinking about that last guy, and I'm starting to realize that these people have it written down on 3x5 cards.
Yeah.
Because even people like that we hear from only very rarely, every single time they call, it's almost like they have it written down in longhand, because it's verbatim exactly the same thing. I'd like to dialogue with you about something. Are you going to be doing any more? It's always exactly the same call. The same freaking call.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize for the fact that with all the money that I make in all these years, I've never become a snappy dresser like our good friend.
I'm a fat Jew.
Or the guy with the eyes, or the guy with the brick hands, Jack, or
Gilbert.
Or the guy with the teeth, the Ken off the old block with the bad breath and the yellow teeth, or Gilbert, for example. We're just a bunch of slobs, okay? We're not there to impress anybody. Yeah, we apologize though for the fact that we're all a bunch of slobs. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. You want to go on our website today, not just to see the great new pictures and screw around with the witch's outfit, but Amy Goodman, home of the Whopper, an interview with Michael Moore. It's long. It's like 9 pages. Way too long for me to read on the air, and that would be really ponderous. But it's on there in its entirety on our website, on neilrogers.com, along with a lot of other good stuff. By the way, I'm starting to think that Eric doesn't like you.
Why do you say that?
Not for any particular reason. It just crossed my mind.
Okay.
WQAM, hello.
Hiya, Pally!
Hey, hiya, Pally. How you doing?
You forgot one. I know I'm a day late and a dollar short.
That's
you
okay.
You forgot one song for the poll
No, we
yesterday.
forgot many songs.
Take me out to the ball game.
You hate Take Me Out to the Ball Game? Yeah, okay, faggot. Take Me Out to the Ball Game, huh? Boring. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. We do have the real Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Is that it?
No.
Oh. No, with Harry.
I know.
With a real...
Let me hear you! Yeah. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame.
The Cubs suck.
Like I said, it wasn't the real Harry. But it was pretty close. That guy was great.
Yes.
Like I said, those were the days. 12 minutes before 1 at 560 WQAM. Here's a call on line 9. I bet you it's going to be great. WQAM, hello.
Boring.
Thank you. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yes. Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, could you please play that Moster Mash for
No.
Halloween?
No. Moster Mash? What the hell is that? We have a song called the Moster Mash?
We must, if he says so.
I don't think so. What was that one I played the other day? Something about a Monster Mash song. What the hell was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you do.
It was
this week.
Yeah. I don't
It was
remember
called,
yesterday.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. What's your biggest beef with Neil is our question today. Getting the usual tremendous response because it's a lot of negativity. 538 votes. Too much poll talk, 1. Too much foul language, 2. Too much 2 assholes. Too much reading, 4. Too much sports talk, 5. Not enough sports talk, 5. And equal, it just blocks itself right out. Yin and yang. Too much of a fag, 11. He hangs up on too many callers, 11, like a couple of these last ones, I guess. Too many comedy bits, 12. Too many comedy bits, 12, George. He rips Mo too much, 18. Doesn't rip Mo enough, 21. Not enough reading, not enough bedtime stories, 22. He's out of Miami, away from here too much, 24. He's too liberal, 33. He's too effing negative, 40. Still waiting for the first call on that. First explanation. Too many vacations, 45. He puts George on to fill in 65. You're pulling away into a very strong, solid second place. Even General Clark wishes he was that strong in second place. And I have no real beef with Neil. 219, 40.7%. As with these additions of the selection choices in there continue to grow, that number continues to dwindle. By Monday, it'll probably be
about 30, man.
Yeah, whereas we started out with like 50%. That's okay. I can handle it. WQAM, hello. QAM, hello.
Hello, next up, Neil.
Speaking.
This is Neil.
Speaking.
Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis. That corn sure is special. WQAM, hello.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, sir?
I'm hanging in there.
Me too.
I got no beef with Neil, but I'd like to say something about all the chronics and the a-holes.
Yeah.
I don't want to be program director, but I get off really great. Neil is great. Where once in a blue moon he lets them talk and spill out all their guts. He should definitely make a trade-off. He could say your name and the number you're calling from, and he'll give you all the time you want, and let them just go along with what they're saying.
No. 5670560, pound 560. Give the name and phone number and give them all the time they want. That should be an exciting show, huh?
Right.
No.
Not. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes?
Oh, I love the comedy bits. I love it especially when George does that Tony Reverend guy, that preacher guy.
Yeah. What was he doing? Did he have like a one of those paper comb things like you were doing?
Oh, he's at a phone booth and
I see. He was sounded like he was blowing it. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, has George ever banged you in the butt?
WQAM, not this week. QAM, not there. WQAM.
Yeah, Neil, it's real easy why our country has all the murderers. Because we got all the fighters.
No, you don't. Go to Amsterdam, you'll discover you're wrong. WQAM, hello.
I want the Saturday Night Feedler.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mo's got him locked up in a broom closet somewhere. You can't have him. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Don't forget Mad Dog's out again today, which we're getting pretty curious about that. He's got a schedule that makes mine look like tough work. Joe Rose today, 2 to 4. And of course we are blessed having all these wonderful ex-jocks, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Heavily
No,
blessed.
seriously, because we got the big Hurricane game against another marginal team, Virginia Tech, tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Dolphins and the Colts on Sunday with Brian Greasy, no less. But in spite of all that stuff coming up, I think Joe's going to be talking about
Howard from Boca.
Hank Goldberg 4 to 7 this afternoon, including the Dave Wannstedt show in there 5 to 6 because we don't want to overwork the humper. And then we got, now who is telling me? The Big is on tonight 7 to 10 because there's no hockey game. Eddie K after that at 10 and ESPN Radio overnight because Joe and Mark work on Sunday because Mo wants a lead-in. And it helped, as a matter of fact, this last book. Without that lead-in, he wouldn't have had squat. Right?
Right.
He would have had nothing.
They should still be on Friday night.
So I had a rumor that Hank was a little surly at the ratings party last night.
I didn't notice that.
That's what somebody said. I don't want to mention Scott there, get him in trouble, but that's what he said. He said Hank was like, what was the word you used?
Cranky Hanky.
He was a little cranky? Well, maybe he lost a bet, be the first time. See, that's another thing I would like to say about these cheapskates at QAM. I mean, forget about the people outside. We know about them. But I know we got a whole bunch of people at that radio station making some serious bucks. And many of them gamble away more money in a day than some of you people make in a lifetime, all right? So if they could just take like $20 or $50, 20 would be embarrassing, 50 or $100 or even more than that, and write a check to Abandoned Pet Rescue and help us out, that would be a very nice gesture.
What a joke.
Well, like maybe one less bet since we have, I mean, even, what's his name there? Curtis. One of our flunky board op, guys that's making like $3 an hour. Even Curtis gave us a nice check. What did he give us? $100?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ almighty. Now how do you like that when a kid is making $4.50 an hour that doesn't have two, nickels to rub together, he writes us a check for $100 because he's a good guy. And all these big paid celebrities there, they give us zippity-doo-dah, not even lip service. Even my close personal friend, the Mo Man, gave us his drop-ins for the keychain. That was something. Because he said he liked the charity. He's got a dog, so he can't be all bad. Almost, but not all bad.
Yeah, but he should take it off his head.
Now, line 9 is always special, you know what?
Yeah.
WQAM, hello.
Could you put Born on the list? Stop hanging up on me.
WQAM, hello.
Can I speak to Neil?
Speaking.
Neil.
Yes.
Neil, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Marlins approach. I'm going to contact Broward County and ask them if they'll build me a house.
Right.
And with taxpayer money, and I'll just be able to do whatever I want. You know, I get to keep all the money that I do in any kind of business, any kind of work I do there, and not pay any rent.
And then you can charge for parking on your front lawn too, $20 a pop.
Yeah, that'd be great. Whatever business I do on my lawn, I don't have to, you know, I get to keep all the money and the taxpayer
Sounds to me like you're being awful
benefit.
negative now though, sir. You're being a little bit negative.
Yeah, but this is a negative town. This is what it's all about.
No kidding. No Schmidt.
Yeah, hey, you know what? In closing, Neil, Eddie K's an asshole. See you later.
Thank you. Well, how do you like that? Eddie K must have hung up on him. Oh, I know why. Because the guy probably called and said the same thing. And Eddie K loves his baseball, you know. I don't want to know. I don't, you know. I don't want to get involved because I like Eddie K a lot. Although, how come he hasn't given us a check yet? He always does.
Yeah.
He's just waiting. He's waiting until it turns over to November. Well, guess what? Tomorrow's November 1 last time I checked. We got November, December left, and then it's going to be gone. Because we're not going to milk this thing. I mean, we could keep it on the website all year long, but what's the point in that, you know? We got bigger fish to fry. Like those Norma Kent bobblehead dolls.
Fried fish.
Stuff like that. Can you imagine the nerve of that faggot? Of that simpering, whimpering queen? Oh, yeah, I think it's a great idea. How do you think we can sell 2,000 of those Neil Rogers bobblehead dolls? Oh, sure, Norma, no problem. It's called being used and abused. 4 minutes till 1 at 560 QAM.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Pal, this is Rosie O'Donnell, and the clock on my stomach says it's the Neil Rogers
1 to 2
hour. And away we go.
It's been over 80 years since the Sox won it all. Through Bill Buckner's legs went that round Rawlings ball. Yes, topped up, it's gone from bad to worse. And it's all because of the Bambino curse. Bambino curse. The Red Sox had it made. Bambino curse. Till they made that Babe Ruth trade. Bambino curse. Why, it's a running joke. Bambino curse. In the dictionary under Boston, it just says joke.
It's 1 o'clock at 560. You think that's what that guy was talking about, the Monster Mash?
I bet that was that thing that guy was talking about.
What thing?
That one.
Oh, I bet you that was it. Anyway, if not, happy Halloween. You realize that we don't have any Halloween bits. I'm sure that on ACN there is some, but who the hell wants to dig through all of that crap? What?
What's to say?
What do you mean by that, what's to say?
There's some.
This is a big controversy, this Halloween thing, man. All the religions out there.
Oh, yeah,
all this heathen crap with the witches and the Wiccans and all this other garbage, man. Shame on you people, all you heathens out there with this garbage with witches and influencing your kids to go out there and participate in this heathen crap, in this anti-Jesus stuff. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. 573 votes. What's your biggest beef with Neil? I'm still waiting for the first call from somebody to tell me what I'm negative about. I'm waiting. The other ones, no problem, but that's always oh, you're so negative, Neil. For years I've been hearing that. From emotional cripples who can't handle the truth. They don't like somebody on the air telling them things exactly the way they are. They'd rather hear some pompous ass with green checkered pants on here talking about, hey, this is paradise. It's paradise, yeah. I have no beef with Neil, 228. See, 39.5%. That number's dropping. Do you see that?
Yep.
He puts George on to fill in 68. Nice going.
Thanks.
Too many vacations, 49. He's too effing negative, 44. 7.6%. You're too negative, man. You're a sour old fart. And there's nothing worse than a sour old fart. Especially if you save it in a jar and then open it in the elevator.
Ooh.
He's too liberal, 35. He's out of Miami too much, 24. Not enough reading, bedtime stories, 23. He doesn't rip Mo enough, 22. Too many comedy bits, 18. He rips Mo too much, 18. He's too much of a fag, 13. That's Dan Marino's number. Also Matt Sundin. He hangs up on too many callers, 13. Not enough sports talk, 7. Too much sports talk, 5. Too much reading, 5. Too much foul language, 3. And too much pool talk, only 1. That was our friend, of course, in Pennsylvania. WQAM.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Okay.
Listen, no, in the Cuban community, they say that you are too negative on the Cubans. And I agree with you. If you are too negative, that they got it coming anyway. I'm a little confused.
But what does that mean? What does that mean? If I'm too negative, they got it coming. If they got it coming, then I'm not too negative. I'm just telling you what it is.
Well, they only think always about their own little ghetto, you know. They don't see the whole picture. They live inside of a vacuum. Anyway, I'm a little confused. In Radio Mambi and in the other...
Radio Mambi.
Yeah. They keep saying, and they are bragging about the numbers in the last Arbitron, saying that they are number 1.
No.
I know that you read the numbers, and they are not number 1.
In which demo are they?
Yeah, in which demographic? I mean, I got the men numbers here, but I don't have.
I don't think even in the whole total they are number 1 though. Of all of the stations, including FM and AM, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, let's see, in men 25 to 54. See, first of all, you got to understand, maybe I have a 12 plus, here it is. I got it. 12 plus, Life, WLYF is number 1 in persons 12 plus overall during the week. WEDR is second.
Okay.
WPOW, Power 96 is third. WCMQ-FM is fourth. WMIB, Men in Black is fifth. WHQT, Hot. WAMR, Radio Amor. Love 94 is after that, so that would be 3, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Let me go to the second page and see if I can find. Oh, there it is. Number 9, WAQI, Radio Mambi.
They continue to lie.
They lie to, well, of course, they're not saying what demographic. They might have pygmies under 3 feet tall.
Well, half of the station is dead anyway. But everybody that works there died. They have commercials and they have introduction to program being made by people that died 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something besides.
And not only that, but Radio Mambi is like a religion, because if you look at the hours spent listening, the time spent listening, there's no other station that comes anywhere near 15 hours and 15 minutes a week, which is ridiculous. And that's why, because it's like a religion. The people who like Radio Mambi, they put it down whether they're listening or not, hour after hour after hour, day after day. It's called Wire Diaries.
It's an entertainment. It's like a babysitter for the old people.
Yeah.
Besides that, they gave away last year and this year a new house with an automobile in the garage and totally furnished and insurance for a year. And even with all of that giveaway, they still cannot be other than 9. I mean, Let me ask you a question.
Well, why should they be? I mean, at least 40% of the people in South Florida speak English. What people who don't speak Spanish are going to listen to that station?
Well, but you got about half of the population of this county is Spanish, though.
Yeah, and what about Broward?
About 30, man.
No, in Broward you got about over 100,000.
Well, listen, don't get yourself nervous about it because they lie a lot, just like everything else.
Yeah,
At least
well,
they're
they
consistent.
do. But anyway, who is your favorite pitcher in the big leagues?
My favorite pitcher? What about my favorite catcher? I think my favorite catcher is Norm Kent. Have a nice day. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. I don't follow baseball, amigo. No interest. No way, Jose. WQAM, hello.
I don't follow.
What is it?
Wait, Jose.
I guess that was the response from Radio Mambi. They must have been called from the inside. That was good. Nice one. Clean up your act and spigot Inglés, okay, you assholes? WQAM, hello. Nobody there. Boy, this is a really interesting screenless exercise. WQAM, hello.
Move the Marlins to Cuba. I got you down.
WQAM.
Neil.
Yes.
Listen, thank you very much. I listen to you all the time. Love your show.
Welcome.
Love George. Spent my money. Got your key. Get Jim Mandich's keychain.
Right.
And I just want to tell George, Knott's Berry Farm, November 11th, and he'll know what I'm talking about.
Thank you kindly.
Alrighty.
What, the Knott's Berry Farm what?
Knott's Berry Farm, down in the Redlands, the best damn fresh-baked, homemade things you've ever heard of.
Really?
Made by German Baptists.
You going to Knott's Berry Farm?
Yeah, in L.A.
And the La Brea Tarbits?
Right after.
Oh, can you imagine how that stuff smells right about now? Oh, that's bad.
You think there's
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. We put our little thing out the window. We stuck it right out the window, and we're searching for life. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today?
Sensational.
Hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know that Mo Howard is gay.
The good news is that he's not, and we're delighted. WQAM, hello.
We did it.
All right, I feel honored now. And he didn't even show up 7 minutes late on my show. Nice going, David. David Sampson called the world-famous Neil Rogers show to say,
We did it! We did it! We did it!
Unreal.
You know, I got the book here.
You got what book?
The book.
The rating book?
The hardcover book.
Please don't waste our time. Our audience doesn't care about WQBA, okay, about Radio Mambi. We don't care. Is that what you were going to go to?
Yeah, I was just going to ask what demo you thought they would be doing the best in.
90 plus
Yeah,
banana boat people who play a lot of dominoes. Don't worry about them, okay? He's just obsessed with that, and I can understand. He's a good guy, but he's just got to chop off that part of his life and leave it in the past. Leave it on the island, okay? Forget about it. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, what's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Good, good. Hey, you going to read that Molly Ivins article?
I just might.
All right. I love your stories.
Not as good as a lot of the calls we're getting this hour, but you know.
Yeah, keep it up with the stories, man. I love it. I'm the one guy.
Okay, man. Okay, have a great day.
Two of us.
Two of us like the bedtime stories. Well, I could start. I better do the break. I might just do the Molly Ivins, but it's long, man. It's
Good.
long. The
longer the better.
Okay. Well, but look at all the calls there, man. There might be one or two real ones in that bunch flashing frantically. They're not just flashing like ordinary they flash. Right. They're flashing like, oh man, we got something so important to say.
Brighter.
Like WQAM, hello.
Hello, Maxwell loves Adam the lifeguard.
Yeah, you were right.
See? What more could you want?
Sorry I doubted you.
WQAM.
Neil, I got a stomach 10 inches full for you.
Yeah, good. There's the Stevie. Hey, how about you and Steve, okay? Get over to Burton Jack's. Get over to Burton Jacket. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of radio.
Yes.
How about AM 640?
Someday I'm going back into it.
Speaking of people 100 years old have already been dead 9 years, and they're still on the radio. Last Saturday, well, not last Saturday, the last game of the World Series, they actually ran a promo that said, AM 640, your World Series station. What the hell are they talking about?
What is AM 640? I don't even know what the hell that is.
That's the one Greg Budell is on in the morning, and Skipper Upchuck, and...
Yeah, so maybe they carried the series game, so what does that mean?
I don't know. I guess they did, but...
I guess they carried the series games. Now I'm glad we could tell you. 10 minutes after 1 at 5:60. I'm going to be reading the Molly Ivins column when we come back after the break. I am.
Good.
I mean, these people had nothing to begin with, and now it's gone downhill from there. Hey, here's something you might want to go out and do. Pompano Park is open for its 40th anniversary season of great harness racing. The track features top-class nighttime horse racing and high-stakes poker and simulcasting, of course. New post time is 7:05 for the harness races every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night, and Saturday, too. How do you like that? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 4 nights a week. And the poker room is currently open noon till midnight every live racing day. Pompano Park also open every day, 7 days and nights a week, featuring the best in simulcasting, harness racing, thoroughbred highlight action for all across North America for you to watch and plunge your guts on. And don't forget that general parking admission are always free at Pompano Park. New this season, it's a 20% increase in purses, which means better racing, of course, a nightly giveaway of a $400 betting voucher, and a revamped free Power Player Rewards program that gives you points either for betting the horses or playing poker that you can redeem later for special gifts and betting vouchers. Every Wednesday night is Dollar Night at Pompano Park. Draft beer, hot dog, sodas, and much more, only $1 a piece. And tonight, there'll be free prize drawings to win one of 15 trips for 2 on the Sea Escape Casino Dinner Cruise. And on Wednesday, November 5, on my birthday, no less, the excellent Top of the Park restaurant opens for the season with fine dining. You notice how they opened the dining room just in time for me to come back?
Coincidence?
It's no accident. Pompano Park, it's a block south of Atlantic Boulevard on Powerline Road. For the new race schedule, you can call 954-972-2000 or go on web at pompanopark.com. Lay off a wall of Hennessy. Trust me when I tell you. Pompano Park, horsepower you can plunge on.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM. Joel says it's a scandal with some tricky dicks. Lincoln likes his job, but they want to make him pay for whitewater. Pay for whitewater. Is it just a slander of a decent man and his loving wife with a healthcare plan? To work real hard for the lady bill. Didn't stand us down, but they're gonna have to pay for whitewater. Pay for whitewater. Pay for whitewater. Bill says he's tired of the critics' knocks. Maybe he should try to blame it all on stocks. Men can say they lost a ton of cash. In the end, you know that you and me will pay for whitewater. Pay for whitewater. People white water. People white water.
117 at 560 WQM. Here's another fax. Why did you change the format, Neil, of the best of? You used to have calls and some were great, i.e. bridge tender. Now it's just corny jingles. How many calls did we have on the best ofs? About 3 maybe over the years?
Those weren't the actual best ofs. Those were supplemental discs that we would do from time to time.
Right.
That's what they're talking about.
In addition to which, when we get a call good enough to put on a best of disc, we'll let you know if we ever get another one of those. And
right.
Plus, it's just corny jingles. Are there any jingles on that disc?
No.
No, there are no jingles.
My.
But that's okay. Anyway, Molly Ivins writes in the November issue of Progressive, call me a Bush hater. Among the more amusing cluckings from the right lately is their appalled discovery that quite a few Americans actually think George W. Bush is a terrible president. Robert Novak is quoted as saying in all his 44 years of covering politics, he's never seen anything like the detestation of Bush. Charles Krauthammer managed to write an entire essay on the topic of Bush haters in Time magazine as though he had never before come across a similar phenomenon. Oh, I stretch memory way back, so far back, all the way back to our last president. Almost lost in the mists of time, though, I not only remember 8 years of relentless attacks from Clinton haters, I also noticed they haven't let up yet. Clinton haters accused the man of murder, rape, drug running, sexual harassment, financial chicanery, and official misconduct, and they accuse his wife of even worse. For 8 long years, this country was a zoo of Clinton haters. Any idiot with a big mouth and a conspiracy theory could get a hearing on radio talk shows and Christian broadcast and nutty internet sites. People with transparent motives, people paid by tabloid magazines, people with known mental problems, ancient Clinton enemies with notoriously racist pasts, all were given hearings, credence, and airtime. Sliming Clinton was a sure road to fame and fortune on the right, and many an ambitious young right-wing hitman like David Brock, who has since made full confession, took that golden opportunity. And these folks didn't stop with verbal and printed attacks. From the day Clinton was elected to office, he was the subject of the politics of personal destruction. They went after him with a multi-million-dollar smear campaign funded by Richard Mellon Scaife, the right-wing billionaire. They went after him with lawsuits funded by right-wing legal foundations, Paula Jones. They got special counsels appointed to investigate every nitpicking nothing that ever happened, Filegate, Travelgate, and they never let go of that hardy perennial, Whitewater. After all this time and all those millions of dollars wasted, no one has ever proved the Clintons did a single thing wrong. Bill Clinton lied about a pathetic, squalid affair that was none of anyone else's business anyway, and for that they impeached the man and dragged this country through more than a year of the most tawdry, ridiculous, unnecessary pain. The day President Clinton tried to take out Osama bin Laden with a missile strike, every right-winger in America said it was a case of wag the dog. He was supposedly trying to divert our attention from the much more breathtakingly important and serious matter of Monica Lewinsky, and who did he think he was to make us focus on some piffle like bin Laden? The puzzle is where this depth of feeling comes from, mused the ineffable Mr. Krauthammer. Gosh, what a puzzle that is. How could anyone not just be crazy about George W. Bush? Whence the anger, asked Krauthammer. It begins, of course, with the stolen election of 2000 and the perception of Bush's illegitimacy. I'd say so myself, yes I would. I was in Florida during that chilling post-election fight, and I'm fully persuaded to this day that Al Gore actually won Florida, not to mention getting 550,000 more votes than Bush overall. But I also remember thinking, as the scene became eerier and eerier, geez, maybe we should have let them win this one because Republican wingnuts are so crazy, their bitterness would poison Gore's whole presidency. The night Gore conceded the race in one of the most graceful and honorable speeches I've ever heard, I was in the ballroom full of Republican flacks who booed and jeered through every word of it. One thing I acknowledge about the right is that they're much better haters than liberals are. Your basic liberal, milk of human kindness flowing through every vein, and heart bleeding over everyone from milk-shy Hottentot to the glandular obese, is pretty much a strikeout on the hated front. Maybe further out on the left you can hit some good righteous anger, but liberals, and I am one, are generally real wusses. Guys like Rush Limbaugh figured out that a long time ago, attack the liberal, and the first thing he says is, you may have a point there. To tell the truth, I'm kind of proud of us for holding the grudge this long. Normally, we'd remind ourselves that we have to be good sports. It's good for the country. We must unite behind the only president we've got, as Lyndon used to remind us. If there are still some of us out here sulking, yeah, but they stole that election, well, good. I don't think we should forget that. But onward. So George W. becomes president, having run as a compassionate conservative, and what do we get? Hell's own conservative and Dick for compassion. His entire first 8 months was tax cuts for the rich, tax cuts for the rich, tax cuts for the rich, and he lied and said the tax cuts would help average Americans. Again and again, the average tax cut will be $1,000, which means you get 100 and the millionaire gets 92,000, and that's how they average it out. Then came 9/11 and we all rallied, ready to give blood, get out of our cars, ride bicycles, whatever. Shop, said the president, and more tax cuts for the rich. By now we're starting to notice. We're noticing Bush's bait and switch, make a deal with Ted Kennedy to improve education, and then fail to put money into it. Promise $15 billion in new money to combat AIDS in Africa, but it turns out to be a cheap con, almost no new money. Bush comes to praise a job training effort, then cuts the money. Bush says AmeriCorps is great, then cuts the money. Gee, what could we possibly have against this guy? We go along with the war in Afghanistan, and we still don't have bin Laden. Then suddenly, in the greatest bait and switch of all time, Osama bin Laden doesn't matter at all, and we have to go after Saddam Hussein, who had nothing to do with 9/11. But he does have horrible weapons of mass destruction, and our president, without doubt, without question, knows all about them, even unto the amounts, tons of sarin, pounds of anthrax. So we take out Saddam Hussein, and there are no weapons of mass destruction. Furthermore, the Iraqis are not so overjoyed to see us. By now, quite a few people who aren't even liberal are starting to say, what the hey? We got no Osama, we got no Saddam, we got no weapons of mass destruction, the roadmap to peace in the Middle East is blown to hell, we're stuck in this country for $87 billion just for 1 year, and no one knows how long we'll be there. And still poor Mr. Krauthammer is hard put to conceive how anyone could conclude that George W. Bush is a poor excuse for a president. Chuck, honey, it ain't just the 2.6 million jobs we've lost. People are losing their pensions, their health insurance. The cost of health insurance is doubling, tripling in price. The administration wants to cut off their overtime, and Bush was too little too late with extending unemployment compensation that a million Americans were left high and dry with. And you wonder why we think he's a lousy president? Sure, all that is just what's happening in people's lives, but what we need is the big picture. Well, the big picture is that after 9/11, we had the sympathy of every nation on earth. They all signed up, all our old allies volunteered, everybody was with us, and Bush just booted all of that away. Sneering, jeering, bad manners, hideous diplomacy, threats, demands, arrogance, bluster. In Afghanistan, Bush rode a popular tide. Iraq, however, was a singular act of presidential will, says Krauthammer. You bet your ass it was. We attacked a country that had done nothing to us, had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda, and turns out not to have weapons of mass destruction. It's not necessary to hate George W. Bush to think he's a bad president. Grown-ups can do that, you know. You can decide somebody's policies are a miserable failure without lying awake at night consumed with hatred. Poor Bush is way in over his head, and the country is in bad shape because of his stupid economic policies. If that makes me a Bush hater, then sign me up. That's from Molly Ivins, syndicated columnist who writes in the Progressive Magazine, November issue, Call Me a Bush Hater, and I would say,
absolutely correct.
Ma'am. She's great.
Yes, she is.
And she doesn't put quite as many big words in there that I can't read like Maureen Dowd likes to do. Maureen just does that intentionally to trip me up, make me look kind of stupid. How's that poll coming? What's your biggest beef with? Maybe we should have put he's stupid, huh?
Nah.
No. What's your biggest beef with Neil? I have no real beef with Neil. 242. That's down to 38.7%. Wow. Sliding. He puts George on to fill in 72. Too many vacations, 53. He's too effing negative, 49. Still waiting for a call about that. We're going to get one? No. He's too liberal, 36. Too many comedy bits, 28. Uh-oh. He doesn't rip Mo enough, 27. He's out of Miami too much, away from town, 25. Not enough reading bedtime stories, 23. Well, I'm trying to make up for that. He rips Mo too much, 19. He's too much of a fag, 13. He hangs up on too many callers, 13. Only if they're fags. Not enough sports talk, 7. Too much sports talk, 5. Too much reading, 5. Too much foul language, 4. And too much pool talk, 3 out of 624 votes. We're going to go close to 700 votes today during the show on that poll. I told you they'd like it. They like it. Gives them a chance to vent, to get all that sputum out of their system. If you don't get it all out here today, you can do it between 4 and 6 with George, Michael, and Miguel. George Michael. And you can go over there and tell him that George Michael is a piece of crap. No, you can go over there and tell George to his face, hey, I hate you, I think you suck.
And buy a disc.
And give us $20 for Abandoned Pet Rescue. 4 to 6 at the Cheetah Lounge at Hallandale Beach, 100 Anson Boulevard. That's a block east of I-95 on the north side of Hallandale Beach Boulevard. You'll be the youngest person there, I guarantee, even if you're 100. I mean, at least on the street.
Yeah.
Enjoy happy hour drink specials and real prizes, real honest-to-God prizes like T-shirts and Heat and Panther tickets, and the Best of Neil stuff will be there, too. So go by and unload some cash. We got $37,075 as of yesterday, the end of the day. We could do like close to 40 in, another month?
Right.
Yeah, where are those checks from all you cheap bastards there, including Greg Reed and Screw Ann at QAM, huh? We're still waiting. We're holding our breath. Inhale, I'll let you know when to let it out. Okay, hold on.
Wait.
Big news, Hallett Pontiac GMC has just been voted the #1 Pontiac GMC dealer in Dade County in customer satisfaction, and our good buddies Tom Lehman and Joe Prieto want to thank their loyal customers for their long support over 35 long, amazing years. Stop by Hallett this weekend and check out the Pontiac Vibe. Normally retails for over $20,000, but you can buy it fully loaded at Hallett Pontiac for just $16,500 plus tax and tag. Hallett's your truck headquarters, and you notice that Bob Eisenberg is right on top of this?
Yes.
With his copy, with the, Hallett's your truck headquarters with over 300 to choose from, including the Yukon and the Yukon. And coming soon, the new Envoy XUV, the most unique SUV on the market. Nice going, Bob. And by the way, your hairpiece still sucks. Great Neil deals every day at Hallett Pontiac GMC, and you'll find them in the same great location. They've been making unbeatable deals for over 35 years and giving you amazing service. 13401 South Dixie Highway, that's US 1 across from the Falls. Open every day, 7 days a week, even on Simchas Torah. If you want more info, call the Neil Rogers Neil Deal hotline, toll free, 1-888-534-4211. That's 1-888-534-4211. Keep in mind all offers subject to credit approval. See our friends at Hallett for details. At Hallett Pontiac GMC, who are professional grade, even if Bob Eisenberg ain't.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM. Get your Best of Neil Rogers 2003 Best of Neil CDs.
If you cannot find a drama bomber rack.
Yes.
If the markets are a drama bomber rack.
No.
And Howard David keychains. Listen for van locations or log on to WQAM.com to get yours. And the stuff, too. Absolutely. Proceeds benefit Abandoned Pet Rescue. The Best of Neil 2003. Neil Rogers. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
You're a bastard.
I am Mo Howard, the David, decrepit and I'm ancient. All over my old face are blue and reddish purple veins. I don't know why they hate me, or why they always rate me. It must be 'cause I got these blue and reddish purple veins.
A vein pop on my arm like a Ram McNally Napalakawad. I got veins on my nose and nobody knows that under my clothes I wear pantyhose. But that don't mean that I'm gay. If you think my arms are bad, you ought to see my legs. I might as well keep them smooth and shaved to show a little class the next time I'm raping it. I could go to a surgeon, but that gives me the shivers. I would not want to walk out looking like Joan Rivers. Where am I here? I fired the beast, the fat little freak. I did him a favor. Now he can't afford to eat. The reason I dismissed that stinking fat bastard is because he wouldn't shut up, and he can't play canasta. Hey, somebody talking over there. Nobody talks when I rap. I rap, then you talk. Hey, look at me. I'm hip, hip. I ain't no square. I'm a ding-dong Betty, man. I'm really dead. I fire anyone I want. I don't care. Especially if they make me flip my wig made of smelly green hair. I got fired myself. It even happens to the greats. Westman once said, you get out of here or else we break your legs. So now I sit by the pool. Life's as good as it gets. With my Paladin cocktail, placing bets on the Jets. In paradise. Paradise. I don't kiss nobody's ass in paradise. I'll be schlepping down the Scoogans when I get the chance, but the cleaners aren't ready with my lime green pants. How long does it take? Guilty calling complaint. It was just a little thought, so what, I left this stain. You think that's funny? Want a knuckle sandwich, buddy? I can do what I want, because the management loves me.
Did I tell you something, Mo? Something you ought to know. For the longest time, I wanted you to be my hoe.
You wipe my tight, pal. Now answer straight. Tell Mel. What are you doing?
I don't take no for an answer.
Get out of here. Not you. Get out of there.
Get up, bitch.
Do the door. Do the door. Do the door. Do the door. Do the door.
133, George on the paper comb there. Excellent job. Even those people who hate you on the air, they think they got to give you credit for that.
Well, maybe I ought to be a musician instead.
Don't they want to do it?
No.
Oh, they don't. Where the hell is that thing that I read about the Middle East? Oh, I got to find that one thing, that passage again in the Michael Moore
book. Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah. In fact, I just might read the whole book on here. That'll really piss this audience off. No, I just want to read that one paragraph again, because it's so good. He says, here's a way to stop the suicide bombings being in the Middle East. Give the Palestinians a bunch of missile-firing Apache helicopters and let them and the Israelis go at each other head-to-head. $4 billion a year to Israel, $4 billion a year to the Palestinians. They can just blow each other up and leave the rest of us the hell alone, to which I say,
all right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Correct.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Michael Moore, he is just, he makes, I never thought I would find anybody, much less an author, who agrees. I mean, I agree with almost everything he says and the other way around, you know what I mean?
Right.
Except for Oprah. At that point we part company, but I think he's doing a little tongue-in-cheek. He's just trying to give an example. Kind of like Arnold. Maybe like a Democratic Arnold would be good.
I think she'd make a better president than a talk show hostess.
No question about that. Anyway, confronted with an armed intruder in their home in Tampa, 2 women plied him with a ham sandwich and rum until he became groggy and passed out.
All right.
Police arrived and arrested Alfred Joseph Sweet, 52, to end the 5-hour episode. Kathy Ord, 60, and Rose Booker is that butcher, 63. And since those 2 women don't have the same last name and they're living together, maybe who knows who's butcher. Said they tried to befriend the man after he burst through their kitchen window with a sawed-off shotgun Tuesday night. And again, there's another good gun story for you, only this one nobody got hurt. Just like in The Godfather. Remember he said, what's that? That car? Oh, it's an accident, but nobody got hurt. They made him a sandwich, give him a bottle of rum, and suggested he shower and shave so he could be sort of disguised in his getaway, Ord said. We just treated him with kindness, Butcher said. She said she had offered Sweet cash and the keys to her Cadillac, but he just sat with them holding his gun. The intruder never said what he wanted, the woman said, and he went away, as they say in Yugoslavia, gesund and pupik. With a ham sandwich and rum. He was full. He was full. He was satisfied. Maybe that's what he wanted, was like a little lunch, that's all.
A drink and a shower.
A meal. Oh, if you're interested in the Lacey Scott Peterson thing, which I hope and pray that you're not, but this week's Inquirer, the November 11th one, which I picked up yesterday, on the front page, there's a big story in here, which I'm not going to waste my time because I really don't give a flying crap about. There are 2 things I don't care about. One of them is Elizabeth Smart, and the other one is Lacey and Scott Peterson. Even though the media tells me I'm supposed to be, for Paul and Young Ron, who I'm sure are listening right now, it's sunny and 68.
Oh!
68 beautiful degrees in Toronto right now.
Oh!
72 in New York and Philadelphia and Boston, and 75 in Philly today. We got this front that came in, and it's a beautiful, can you believe that?
Yeah.
It's 56 tomorrow, which is not bad for the fall, but 68 today, man. I'm going to run outside and savor it, then I'm going to go have a big lunch.
And rum.
A ham sandwich and some rum. And a little rum and Coke. That's a very nice drink. Lacey died on Scott's boat, exclusive in this November 11th Inquirer, the evidence that will convict him. He's done. Then here's Elizabeth Smart, how she's really coping, just to make sure I see two stories that I don't care about on the front page. Liza, her husband's lies exposed. Julia Roberts attacked at family wedding, the shocking confrontation. Boy, she looks bad in that picture, man. Wow. And secret video reveals Diana's killer. We'll get back to you, Diana. And whatever you do, don't get in that car. Now, here's a story from the Inquirer, the only one that I found that really is interesting. Because it's some of that gay banter that gets some of these people. How many people voted for the gay, the fag thing? Let's see, 13. Well, that's a lucky number. Jackie feared that JFK Jr. would turn out gay. You ready for that? Okay. Shocking claim in a new book. The new book is called Sweet Caroline, The Last Child of Camelot by Christopher Anderson. The Kennedys are furious over a shocking new book. Aren't you shocked?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That contains humiliating revelations about the family, including Jackie's nightmare fear that John Jr. would turn out to be gay. The startling assertion appears in Christopher Anderson's Sweet Caroline. It's a good thing I read the other articles so well. That was important stuff. The startling assertion appears in Christopher Anderson's Sweet Caroline, Last Child of Camelot, which claims that Jackie quelled her paranoia about John's sexuality by telling second husband Ari Onassis to pay special attention to her son. Jackie said she was concerned that without a father figure to guide him toward manhood, John would become a fruit, writes Anderson in his sensational biography of John's sister Caroline. A fruit. You ready for that?
Which fruit?
A pear. Onassis dutifully began instructing the youngster on how to be a man. At 12, John Jr. was already drinking Ari's favorite scotch and red wine and smoking strong Greek cigarettes, according to the book. That would make him a real manly man. Too bad I wasn't doing that, huh?
The Greeks know how to be manly.
God damn, they know that Greek stuff. Trust me.
Rectum.
The Kennedys were distressed that the Greek shipping magnate, who wasn't a Catholic like them, was having such a profound influence on young John. They were equally upset that Jackie came to rely on her kid Secret Service agent John Walsh, not the one from America's Most Wanted, rather than a family member to be a father figure to Caroline, say sources. Walsh had been Jackie's emotional anchor after the assassination, leading to speculation among family members of a possible romance between them. A Kennedy family source confirmed to the Inquirer Jackie was haunted by the thought that John would become effeminate because he spent too much time with her and sister Caroline. I can just hear Neil Diamond singing right now. Sweet Caroline. He's just awful, you know what? She wanted him, even as a small boy, to be around strong men, especially her second husband, Aristotle Onassis. Ted Kennedy informed her he could provide all the male influence that John would ever need, and he should come to Hyannisport to be with his male cousins. He could get him drunk and get him laid, you can be sure of that, right? Oh, no sweat. By then, Jackie was so disenchanted with the Kennedys, she insisted John spend holidays with her and Onassis on his yacht. Anderson writes, there was no question that Ari's first priority, aside from his kids Alexander and Christina, was John, JFK Jr. Get the honey, Jr. The Kennedys are also upset with the biography because it spotlights the mysterious relationship between Secret Service agent Walsh and the president's widow. The fact that she instructed Walsh to be a father figure to Caroline really puzzled and disturbed the Kennedys, said a family insider. Some members of the family insisted Jackie may have been having an affair with this virile young agent. This outraged Jackie and drove her away even further from the Kennedys. The book Sweet Caroline by Christopher Anderson. Go out and get that, and go out and get the one about Diana from Paul Burrell. Anybody care about Diana?
No.
No. Although that was quite of an interesting coincidence. Maybe we ought to have, like, Jonathan Edwards.
Yeah.
Get in touch with Diana on the other side, huh? Cross over, go on the other side, and find out if she really had that vision about somebody messing with her car and killing her. It was just another one of them strange British coincidences. Just like the fact that the Windsor family turned out to be a bunch of Germans. It was just a coincidence. Just like all these Halliburton and Bechtel deals with Bush. They're just coincidences. 141 at 560 WQM, the little dog Joe Rose with some Mo Howard David bashing from 2 to 4 this afternoon. If you're looking to replace that tired old carpeting in your home, here's a great idea for you. Laminates are us. This is the smart, the easy, the simple piece of cake, low maintenance alternative to mighty expensive natural wood flooring, which costs you an arm and 4 legs. Laminates R Us is the best place to find laminated wood flooring from the top names in the business. They got them all. They got Wilson Art, Pergo, Peridor, Unifloor, Quickstep, and all of Laminates R Us flooring is installed by people who really know their crap. Pergo certified installers. And another reason to call Laminates R Us, their prices are so low, so amazingly rock bottom and unbeatable, and I just screwed up on this thing. I'll never get to it in time. You know what? What a shame. No, because I could have played. Their prices will floor you. Right now you can get their fall special. After all that work, you got to play it twice for just $1,495. That's correct. Just $1,495 gets you up to 295 square feet of beautiful laminate wood flooring. It is positively unbelievable. And Laminates R Us will match any legitimate written offer too. So like I said, unbelievable and unbeatable too. For a free in-home estimate, call Laminates R Us toll free and tell them that Negative Old Neil told you to call 1-877-777-3336. What could be easier? Free carpet disposal, free furniture moving. They give you an amazing 25-year warranty and years of beautiful, easy care laminate wood flooring. Call them today and tell them that sour, nasty, miserable old bastard Neil told you to call. Laminates R Us, 1-877-777-3336.
My and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Listen to the sound of John John's falling plane, auguring into the sea. You'd think a multi-millionaire like JFK could afford a better plane. If JFK had more time flying, he would have known a Piper Cub's a cheap and crappy plane that blows. A gun aimed at my head's about the only way I would go. Now Ted's the only one that's left alive today from what they call the Kennedy curse. If Dorothy Kilgallen was alive, she'd say, cheer up, it's only gonna get worse. Listen to the sound of John John's falling plane. Sputter, splatter, sputter, splatter. Oh, hey, hey, listen to the sound of John John's falling plane. Sputter, splatter, sputter, splatter.
That is so disrespectful, you know. That's why we play it. 147 at 560. He was, I don't want to say he was a zero. You want to know why?
Why?
Because that would be an insult to all the real zeros all over the world. Whatever they are, he was like 7 steps less. And if his name wouldn't have been Kennedy, if he wasn't J.F. Kennedy Jr., he would have been 70 yards below a zero. He was nothing. He had no personality. He was kind of like a funny looking. I don't care what anybody says. He was kind of strange looking. A lot of people thought that Ari was his real father, by the way. And I think he liked Greek to top it all off. Plus, he had like a problem, you know what I mean? Evidently. So there you go. The Kennedys, they just have this long thing that hangs over that family. It just really is amazing when you come right down to it, ain't it?
Yeah.
In fact, wasn't it? What was the other son that got killed in WW2? Was it Joe Jr.?
Bruce.
No, seriously. It was Joe Jr., and then we had JFK got assassinated, and Bobby Kennedy got assassinated, and then there was the one that got killed with a skiing accident before Sonny Bono decided to try it. Which one was that? That was a Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
And then there was William Kennedy Smith, who had the little rape problem. And then we had
Skakel,
who went to jail for a crime that he may or may not have committed. And then, of course, we had Teddy, who's had a series of like that mysterious plane crash and a bunch of other stuff, you know? You know what I mean, Ted? We love you, Ted, but you got some problems. A man described by authorities as a known sexual predator, this is in Philadelphia, was chased through the streets of South Philadelphia by an angry crowd of Catholic high school girls today and kicked and punched him after he was tackled by neighbors. Yeah, that's it. Get him! Rudy Sasanto, 25, who had exposed himself to teenage girls on as many as 7 occasions outside St. Maria Giorgetti School, struck again yesterday just as students were being dismissed, police said. But this time, they had it. A group of girls in school uniforms angrily confronted Sasanto with help from some neighbors. When Sasanto tried to run, more than 20 girls chased him down the block. 2 men from the hood caught him, and girls took their revenge. They came in and started kicking him and punching him, so I wasn't going to stop them. Neighbor Robert Lemons, Bob Lemon, used to pitch for the Indians. Robert Lemons told the Inquirer. Sasanto was later treated for injuries at a local hospital. He was also the Yankee manager. Remember that when Steinbrenner was dicking with Bob Lemon?
1978.
Police said he'd be charged with 14 criminal counts, including harassment, disorderly conduct, open lewdness, and corrupting the mortals of a minor. You ready for that?
Sexual harassment.
or as meant a lot to me.
So there you go. There's the latest from Philadelphia. I just finally figured out during the break. I was thinking about it for like 10 or 15 seconds, Scott.
What's that?
You remember you said that Hank was a little crabby or cranky at the party last night, the ratings party?
I did?
I finally figured out why you got that impression. He doesn't like you.
Oh, right.
Isn't that right, George? Does that make sense?
No, well,
I mean, Hank has no reason. He had a gigantic book, him and the Mad Dog there in the afternoon. They kicked ass. Kicked that Schmidt right back into no man's land where he belongs. So I'm sure, was in a good mood. Free food, which Hank always loved. But probably he ran into you and you just felt that he was in a sour mood because he was sour toward you, which, like I said, he doesn't like you.
What a joke.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I love it when you interact with the great one, Reverend Jones.
Yeah, okay, good. WQAM, hello. QAM with the radio turned up so loud that they're squeezing themselves.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, Neil, remember me, Ricardo?
No.
15 years ago, I used to call you all the time. Just want to say hi to my friends down south. We listen to you. We love you. And Homestead. And I want to believe you are negative, sir.
What is it?
You're negative, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. That sounded like Reverend Jones, too.
Wow.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
QM, yes.
Talking to Neil.
Speaking.
Neil, it's Julio from Hialeah.
Hey, Julio, it's Julio the engineer.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
How's the show going today?
You called me yesterday, right, Julio? Yeah, get out of here. WQAM, hello.
Chamba.
Now, how come that Julio guy, who does sound like Julio the engineer, how come he called 2 days ago? He didn't even listen. How's the show going today? Pretty good up until about 10 seconds ago, Julio. WQAM.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay.
I finally got on, huh?
It sounds like you. Get back near the phone. Within about 10 yards would be good.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Get as close to the phone as the Dolphins are going to get to the end zone against the Colts on Sunday. Within about 15, 20 yards.
So how long gotta wait?
Where are you calling from?
West Palm.
I'll get you on right away.
Good.
Okay, let's take a call from West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Oh, Lord, I gotta lower the radio because there's an echo.
Yeah, turn that radio down, man. It'll drive you nuts.
You want me to turn it down? Seriously?
Yeah, turn it down. Oh, by the way, I gotta go and take a break now. 152 at 560 QAM.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM. Tonight on Animal Planet Emergency Vets.
We've got another tiger. What seems to be the problem?
I think he's choking on something.
Let's have a look. Oh my God. It looks like it is. He's choking on some kind of fruit.
But tigers don't eat fruits.
That's what Siegfried and Roy thought.
That's tonight on Animal Planet Emergency Vets.
Followed by amazing animal bowel movements.
Oh my God. He's got fruit coming out the wazoo.
What?
No, I meant the tiger.
You know, I just wanted to play one other quick bit, but it's on the same disc, so I have to cue it up real quick.
Here are some other people Boston Red Sox pitcher Pedro Martinez would like to throw to the ground.
Elizabeth Taylor, Mickey Rooney, Phyllis Diller, Mike Wallace, the old lady from the Titanic, Grandpa Al Lewis, Roy Horn, Barbara Bush, Doris Roberts, Soupy Sales, Sid Caesar, James Lipton, Wilford Brimley, Carl Malden, Jack Klugman, and Tony Randall, Olivia de Havilland, Judge Judy, and the Pope.
That's kind of cute. It's got its moments. You didn't like it.
Oh, it's fine.
You didn't like it. George didn't even...
It's hysterical. I'm laughing on the inside.
Didn't even snicker a little bit. Well, see, you don't even know Pedro Martinez. Like I said, Scott, it was kind of cute. See, Scott appreciated it because he knows who the hell that is, and you don't, so... He doesn't. You at least know who Don Zimmer is, though.
And the Pope.
Right, and the Pope, so that's good, and Elizabeth Taylor. Anyway, what's your biggest beef with Neil was our poll question today. We had a resounding response. Now, let's take a look there. Did we make it to 700 votes? 687. So we have 2 minutes left to get 13 votes in on there to get us to 700 during the show, which will be one of probably the top 5 all-time responses. I knew this would get a big hoot for the people down there to take their cheap shots. We got 2 seconds less than 2 minutes. We got 691. Oh, all we need is 9. That's like rolling off a log, you know what?
Just refresh it.
Just refreshing? Just keep refreshing, okay? Oh, man, it's like farting in the shower. I'll say it again for those of you people who are a little bit too pussified. We need 8 more. Farting in the shower is one of the most phenomenal, inhaling those steamy,
creamy...
What would you call them?
What?
What's your biggest beef with Neil, we asked today? I can tell you're already all wrapped up and ready to go home. You're not fooling me. Me
What?
too. I got my clothes on.
I
have no
candy
beef
bar
with
here.
Neil. 266, 38.4%. Not even 40. Wow, that's pretty bad. He puts George on to fill in 80. Too many vacations, 57. He's too effing negative, 51. He's too liberal, 39. Too many comedy bits, 38. He doesn't rip Mo enough, 32. Not enough reading bedtime stories, 29. Well, I made up for a little bit of that today. He's out of Miami, away from here too much, 27. Damn it. He rips Mo too much, 19. He's too much of a fag, 14. He hangs up on too many callers, 13. Not enough sports talk, 8. Too much reading, 5. Too much poll talk, 5. Too much sports talk, 5. Too much goddamn foul language, 4 out of 692. Oh my God, we got like 30 seconds. Are we going to make it to the 700 total?
To the 700 club?
What's Pat Robertson say? 698. Uh-oh. 26 seconds and counting. I'm not leaving here until we get 700 vote. What?
Just keep clicking.
Just keep clicking it. Just keep refreshing it. The audience is working on it feverishly. They're yanking it. They're twisting it. They're pumping it. Oh, now it's so loaded up I can't see it. You got a number?
Yeah, I got a number.
Yeah, I got a number for you too.
Bye. The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Howard David's a bitch.
701.
No doubt about it.